In a world.
Shut the hell up.
Where Carolina Panthers fans.
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
Have an insatiable thirst.
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
For Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
I tried to tell you everybody listens to Derek Brown. You just look at that mug in the alleyway and you say, I follow you. I hope you got my back. Please don't be on the opposite side. Carolina Mike, if I had 150,000, homie, is a
celebrity.
Star. The biggest,
celebrity.
The GOAT, Tet, the greatest offensive rookie of the year. Give that award. And did Bryce Young give us just what we needed, what we wanted, what we yearned for? Feel like a domestic battered wife just waiting for someone to bring me some flowers, baby. Thank you so much for sweeping up the kitchen, sweeping up the Falcons, cleaning up that trash, and the Panthers headed for the NFC South Championship? What? Super Bowl, baby. Here we come. BY9. Let's go. Oh, wait. Y'all going to be like, at me. But that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
We do not care. What does Mike Tomlin say? We do not care.
Do not care. We do not care. Hey, that's my wheel man, Cody Lack. Good to be with you on a Tuesday night, my friend.
Tony Dunn, my brother. You know, there is nowhere I would rather be on a Tuesday night than here with my boys talking Panthers football, baby. Dude, we have a jam-packed show tonight. Has Bryce Young finally proven himself to be the franchise quarterback of our dreams? Many people are riding the high of his record-breaking performance. We're going to talk about, is Tetairoa McMillan the offensive rookie of the year? What changed in the Panthers offense from the Saints to the Falcons? If the Panthers being a half game behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers means we are destined to win the South. And we're going to talk a little bit about a battle of the unks, the old guys, Steve Smith versus Pacman Jones. Brother, they're out here feuding.
Man, I watched what's it called? The Pivot.
Yeah.
I got this great screen capture of is it Ryan Clark?
Yes,
yeah.
Ryan Clark.
And like Steve Smith is saying the most ridiculous shit. That's just like if somebody comes to your house and you serve them and you put them in the face, and he's like, he's like, it's so awesome.
And Tony, but we also can't forget the return of Christian McCaffrey in our lives, because this will be the first time. Yep. And it's surprising to me, by the way. It almost jarred me when I read it. Like I felt that we had maybe played him already.
Into him?
Right, but we haven't.
He's run into
this
us.
Will be the first time that the Carolina Panthers are playing Christian McCaffrey with his new team. But Tony Dunn, you know that we would never dream of doing this show without the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube, dare I say all of the internet. Kristen Butler, what's up, girl? Joey the Blind Panther, Cameron Davis, Chris Mortensen, C3 Doug, what's up? Harvey London, Heroes Rule, Loud Pack Luke, our boy Nick Montiero, what's up, brother? Panther Gal, Panther Pickle, shut the hell up, Rock Rhyme, PSFR, Soul Siphon, Vegas Panthers Drew, The Real AP, The Hope Dealer, Will Horsley, and your bastard son, White Chocolate Espresso. Tony Dunn, this is Tuesday night, brother. Monday Night Football is on the horizon, and nothing to it but to do it. Let's roll.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Leave your message. We'll play it on the show tonight. What'd you guys say that Mike Tomlin said?
We do not care.
All right, check this out. This is one of my favorite things on the. Hold on, can you put it up?
Hold up.
Put this up. This is one of my favorite things on the internet. This is the. We'll just let her explain it.
Hello and welcome to all new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. I started this club for all women going through perimenopause and menopause. We are putting the world on notice that we simply just do not care much anymore. Let's go ahead and get started with today's announcements. We do not care if our boobs hang low and we can tie them in a bow.
Let them hang, girl. We love them.
Yeah, we do not care, bro. That's it. That shit is so funny to me. I love the internet and hated it so much. That's one of the beautiful things on the internet. Just like the C3 Panthers podcast is a beautiful thing on the internet. Just like the man with the golden pipes is a beautiful thing. Good to be with you today.
Man, just happy to be here. It's always a good week when I'm interested in watching content about the Carolina Panthers. It also becomes painfully obvious as I watch all of the national pundits that not a single one of them actually watched our game.
Oh,
it's just how often they say like it's just stuff that is completely wrong. Dan Orlovsky with something he was talking about had quoted like stats that never existed, and
we brought Mike Jackson, free agent.
Yeah, free agent.
Well, he was.
Jimmy Horn catches 2 passes every game. Mitchell Evans catches 2 passes every game. It's hysterical, but they're still providing a lot of praise. I'm still flabbergasted by the audacity of some of the power rankings that exist out there. Most of the ones that are the most audacious are ones that are the most irreputable outlets that you would turn to for any you would turn away from them for any actual real news. But I also find that even when they talk positively about the Panthers, it's like almost in a breath of like, well, the Falcons are just that bad, or it's like there was an article.
We deserve it though, CK.
I've said this all year, CK, that whenever they talk about a team losing to us, it's more about how dare a team lose to the Panthers.
You don't think that we deserve that a little?
We deserve it to a degree, but here's what I don't think. Like, so today, or let me rephrase, on maybe yesterday, NFL put out an article about 6 milestones that happened over that 1 week. And obviously everybody's talking about the Josh Allen 3 touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing touchdowns, 6 total touchdowns in a game. But not a single, like there were 6 storylines and 3 of them were the most mundane. Not a single one touched base on Bryce Young breaking Cam Newton's record for the most passing yards in a single game for the Panthers. It was interesting. Now, to your point, I think some of this is warranted because anytime that praise starts to come to the Panthers, they get blown out. So my hope is that that's not something that we're going to see this week. But I do have a take about us seeing Christian McCaffrey. And to me, it
Scary.
Almost no. Well, here, I'll go right into it just because I don't know if we have a thing for this.
Yeah, we have a slide for all of it, but go ahead.
So we have Christian McCaffrey coming up. We have Sam Darnold. We have Baker Mayfield.
Oh my goodness. Right?
Okay. So let's say we find a way to run the table. Now, do I think it's going to happen? I think it's unlikely, right? But let's just say we find a way to run the table. Okay. I think to bring this full circle, there is another team that we could see potentially
Nebraska.
In a playoff. Right. Well, that too. in a playoff game that could make this the most full circle moment for the Panthers. And that is, not only do we beat Christian McCaffrey, not only do we beat Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, these are all ghosts of our past. Is there another ghost you guys can think of that we could beat in the playoffs?
So the only other one that I think of is maybe the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, because of Caleb Williams.
How poetic it would be to have our path to a potential Super Bowl. We are living on cloud nine, by the way. Like, let's be real about it.
I'm already on Super Bowl train.
We are not putting money down on this right now. Let's just be frank about it. But I'm telling you, let's just think about the poetic nature of us overcoming all of these pieces that we have removed from this organization. We had to overcome to be able to get to the chip and find a way to do what we have never been able to do as a Carolina Panthers organization, and that's win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, poetry at its finest right now is on the horizon, and I think it's worth at least pursuing that eventual outcome. If you're a Panthers fan, I couldn't ask for a better way for us to possibly make this a full circle moment with the Jennifer Lopez situation, with all of these things. It's going to be an interesting season. That's all I'm saying.
It's fun to have fun, right? Oh, yeah. I will just one comment before we jump in the show is I don't think it's unfair for the narrative of just the Panthers.
Right.
I think it's unfair to us, like, and from our perspective. And if you're a Panther, if you're a Panther fan, like, yeah, it feels like, oh, you talking shit, but we sucked for 6 years,
right?
And we're sitting here paying micro attention to all these things all the time, and I don't think from the outside, if I was somebody who was of an organization that had been having reasonable success or wild success a long time, that would be like, I would think it's like, oh, we lost to the Panthers, who are in disarray. And and look, you can like come back and be like, oh, you didn't believe in us. No, like every week we have been there. Like last year, just 1 year ago, I was asking to not watch the games, and you guys just call in and tell me what happened. And there have been moments where they were not that far away just this season where it was like kind of questionable, and we've done the right things in building a little bit, pivoting, going forward.
Right.
What we really wanted the whole time as a true Panther fan, as somebody who's just been podcasting, watching this every snap, the whole time, is I haven't wanted us to rocket ship to a Super Bowl. I mean, I would love it. I'd be there. I'm here for it. I just wanted notable growth, notable things, and at times it just wasn't there. So I don't yes, we're seeing things because we're on the ground, we're watching things happen, we're analyzing things to like what they do with those replays where they see a blade of grass touch black cleats, and he should be wearing white cleats. Did you hear my man say that?
Yeah, he said I should. Yeah,
I'm gonna wear white cleats. Rico Dowdle said I'm gonna wear white cleats in the future.
So did Dave Canales.
So that in case the white grass touches my black cleats, you can't see it as easily on the fucking TV or whatever. I love that.
Yeah.
But we're watching this, and so from the outside, I get it. It might not be fair. It's just a reality. But it's our time to grow. Grow a set and to go kick some motherfuckers in the face, and I'm ready for it. So I don't think that they're wrong. I do think it will get tired. Let's make that narrative tired. Let's make that narrative
100%
lazy. And
also
we can do that, or the Panthers can. We just watch.
It also bears reminding that in 2015, when we were undefeated going into Thanksgiving, which is around the time that we are now, we were underdogs against, I believe it was a 3-7 Dallas Cowboys and then on that Thanksgiving day. Dude, listen, people don't expect shit of us unless you're a Panthers fan.
That's ridiculous.
The only way that. Right, 100%. But
because you're undefeated there, we have been defeated for 7 years.
But the overarching point is that those narratives will never leave us until the Panthers do away with them. Like you just said, we have to win. We have to make that narrative tired. We have to go out and deliver consistent cans of whoop ass to all of the opponents that we play. And it won't happen until that happens.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. We're live on Tuesday nights, the Friday free-for-all, where any fan can be a part of the discussion, Friday at 7 p.m. and the post-game show every week after the game. This week, it's going to be a Monday night game. Yucky. Everybody wants prime time. I'm like, oh, God, we got to stay
Tony
up.
wants to go to bed.
So late.
At least it's not what they did that one time where it was like
have to teach class.
It came on at 10 o'clock at night. When I was afraid of that when it was a West Coast game. I was like, oh gosh, it could be at 10 o'clock. And I had to check today to be safe because I was like wondering in my mind.
What time was it? Did we quit the show or did everybody quit? It was like
I don't remember.
4 o'clock in the morning. It's like a 3 a.m. show. It was so dumb.
Right. I want to say that the latest we've ever gone is around like 2:30 or some shit like that.
I think that Monday night that CK is talking about was like a 3:30 in the morning show where it was like I'm passing out. I have to work the next day. Come on. I thought also, do we have a Xavier Legette talk about the Monday night thing, or is that not in the show?
No, but I can pull it up.
Okay. No. All right. So there's this video, and somebody was talking about, this was funny. Somebody on Twitter was like, fuck David Newton. What a trash ass reporter. And he wasn't the one asking the question.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, man.
That's a Dave Newton move in and of itself, isn't it?
But that person was like, oh, he's wrong reporter. It was like, that was Joe Person. It was like, but what was funny to me is they were asking, it was Joe Person and somebody else asking them about the Panthers being in prime time. And like you've been here for 2 years. You haven't been on a prime time game. What does it feel like this? Where does it feel like this? I thought it was like, Legette was just like, the country, I was thinking about this though, does prime time really matter anymore? Or as much?
It does.
Do you think it matters as much?
Does.
I don't think it matters as much.
Tony,
we can watch any game whenever we want.
This is another classic Cody Tony disagreement because the amount of primetime games you have speaks to how relevant the NFL thinks you are as a football team.
Well, that's fine. I'm not saying that.
If you have a bunch of different primetime games, it says that they want America, not just your own media market. They want America to see this team play because there is at least some level of chance that they will be playing for legitimate football when it comes time for the playoffs.
Okay, so you think it's because they matter. All right, I think that prime time, the way I think of it,
being put in those slots matters. It's like not performative, but it means that the NFL thinks that you can be a really good team.
So that you're saying that it matters because the team is then good.
You have earned those levels of expectations to have primetime games.
All right. So what I mean by this is that prime time doesn't matter anymore because when it was the thing, it was you only could watch certain games. And this made the whole nation watch you. Like you could only watch the game that was on Fox. You can only watch, you had no choices. You had watched the game that came on at 1 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, and you had to watch this. My point of saying that prime time doesn't matter anymore is we watch whatever fucking game we want now. Right. And so I think that the culture is just so on demand that I don't care when the game is and at what time. I'm going to watch it when I watch it. And so it's not like, not everybody's huddled around their TVs on Sunday night.
Right.
Well, but also when's the last time that you decided to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Arizona Cardinals?
But if it was a great game, I would watch it.
But that's what I'm saying. These these primetime games, they give opportunities for people who just want to sit down and watch football, whether it's at dinner or just, after coming home from work, taking a load off. You're watching these teams that you might not make it a point to seek out. You might see some clips on the internet, but not everybody's got NFL Plus and watching every single game. Hell, not everyone even watches the highlights from every game. So I do think that it's a perfect opportunity to get in front of eyeballs that you wouldn't otherwise be in front of. And like I said before, it means that you have expectations because you only have primetime games if the NFL writ large thinks that you're capable of doing something once it gets to November, December football.
Last point on it is the stupidest thing. All right, so if we meet in the middle, I understand what you're saying. I agree. I do think people are destination television more. I don't think it matters as much. How about that? Like, I don't think Leggett was like, oh, I've never been on the universal stage. Like, he was not like wowed by the idea that it was just like all of a sudden that was the only game on TV. But the 2 Monday night games, can we at least agree on this? Is that they put the 2 Monday night games on. That late 10 o'clock Monday night game is not a
that's stupid, but it also defeats the purpose. Like the whole purpose of it is that if you're going to play Monday Night Football, it's giving people who wouldn't have otherwise watched your team an opportunity to see you. But now, if you have your choice between 2 different football games
and go to sleep early,
defeats the purpose.
Early at a regular fucking time.
Right, yeah, it's just it to me it defeats the purpose. But Tony, before we get into the show, I want to make sure that we read these fantastic super chats. We got one from Vegas Panthers Drew. He says, just for Cody, because he said bad players don't post 400 plus. The best game in Jack's history was 445 by Blake Bortles. LOL. Sorry, buddy, gotta talk my shit. Hey, brother, we support any and all shit talking.
Especially
over
when it's on Cody.
Yeah, of course, right? I'm everyone's favorite guy to talk shit on. And then, dude, it's not a super chat, but shout out to my boy, the real AP, because he asked Cody, is the Bryce Young experiment still over? And of course it is, dummy. And the experiment was a resounding success because Bryce Young finally delivers what the Panthers have needed all along. It was a career effort, a statement day, and the kind of performance that resets what's possible for the offense. It was also the exact missing piece Carolina has been trying to find. The Panthers entered Week 11 with one of the league's least explosive aerial attacks. Canales openly challenged the team to push the ball downfield more, and receivers echoed the message. For a team that spent the past month trying to generate even one explosive play, this was something else entirely. Carolina produced 12 completions of 15-plus yards, 9 completions of 20-plus yards, and a career-long 54-yard catch from tight end Tommy Tremble in overtime, and 18 passing first downs, tied for the most in franchise history.
Yeah.
What made Bryce Young's breakout even more impressive is how he did it. He was pressured 19 times, sacked 5 times, and still completed 18 out of 14 passes under pressure for 138 yards. The former Alabama star completed 15 of 20 in rhythm throws for 320 yards, the second most by any player this season. And boys, as we alluded to on the Sunday show, Cam Newton's record for the most passing yards in that game was broken by Bryce Young against the Atlanta Falcons. Tommy Tremble said, it's the same thing I say every time you guys ask me the question. He's a baller. People always doubt him, and when they doubt him the most, that's when he always comes through. That's resilience. Not a lot of people in the world can do that, and he's one of those dudes. We love playing with him. He's a freaking playmaker and a tough cookie, man. Coming out and gutting it out like that was the reason we got the win.
I'm with Vegas Panthers, Drew. The Bryce Young experiment is not over. It's not over, but in a good way. It's not finished as in you don't believe anymore. You don't, you have continued questions that can't be answered. You had some data, some important and good data that helped to support a thesis that you had of why you drafted the player, why you believed in the player, what you hoped the player could be. But let's not, come on, folks, this is just being fair. Is like on both sides of the scheme is like if you see a bad game and you say, oh, that person sucks, their career sucks, and you see a good game and you say they're the GOAT, the best thing ever. This is what we've yearned and longed for. This has been a long time coming for the G babies that say Bryce is king. This is somebody polishing the crown. There's actually a crown somewhere that could be put on somebody's head. It actually exists. This was the game of games that at least lets you believe what you believed or continue to believe. I'm not saying that it's a farce. I'm not saying that you shouldn't believe it. I'm not crowning nor dethroning. How about this? It's just thank you. It's just a thank you. I mean, a long time coming. I told you, I called my shot. I wanted it last week. Better late than never. 3 years of Bryce Young. 3 years of Bryce Young. And it's not that like, oh, you need, like if this didn't happen in year one, you give up on the person. This didn't happen. I honestly believe that this game would have come sooner. And I'm just happy that it arrived.
100%. CK, go ahead first, and then I'll jump in with my loudmouth opinions.
I don't disagree with Tony. I do think that one game doesn't, and I said this on the post game. I think that to have a performance like this is like, if anybody like myself, who the week before, by the way, didn't watch any of the highlights from the New Orleans Saints game, just couldn't bring myself to do it. But like, I became on the other side of the fence on Bryce, right? I wasn't like,
and you have been the staunchest defender,
sure, but
and the slowest to criticize.
I'll tell you what, a performance like this will sure as heck pull you right back to the other side if you were just now stepping on the other side of the line like I was. Listen, it's hard to look at this and see it as anything other than just like incredible growth. I went back and I've watched the highlights to this like multiple times, and I'm telling you, dude, like, were there a few misses? Yeah, there were. I don't think I've ever seen a game where there was a guy who didn't throw a ball that was maybe considered inaccurate, even if it was caught, right? But I tell you what, like the amount of dots this dude threw, like just outside of the fingertips of a defender, even that throw to Xavier Legette in the end zone, not the actual touchdown, which, you know, was almost carbon copy throw that he had made to Xavier Legette the week before per the highlight. But the one where it was broken up by a defender, I watched QB School, and he said that was just bad luck on the Panthers side because it was a
defense.
No, he was saying it was bad defense, but it worked out for them. What happened is the guy that dropped back and actually got the pass breakup was supposed to be covering a guy in the flat who was Jalen Coker, who became wide open. But by the time this all happened, the dude was already like, you know,
Bart,
yeah, like so he was where he wasn't supposed to be, and so we just got bad luck on that one. But nonetheless, dude, like, I'm even the ones that were connected, like, it was just I some of those throws, you're just like, dude, why are these not coming in every single week? And one of the things that they talked about on one of the podcasts the Panthers put out was after the the week of the New Orleans Saints game, they had already started to work on a game plan if they tried to take Rico Dowdle out of the game. And they were starting to install it, but it wasn't there yet. And, some of the argument would be that's why the performance against the Saints was so poor. But they were smoothing things out. And again, this is coming from Carolina Panthers media, so take that with a grain of salt. But basically, they had actually planned this game. They had a game plan in place that was like, if they take away Rico Dowdle, this is how we're going to attack them. In most of those plays, the thing that was wild about this game is when you see he had 45 attempts, normally that's only when we're trailing by 30 points that you see him have that type of a performance. Right now, we were behind a couple touchdowns at one point, but like even on the obvious rundowns, we weren't running the ball. We were putting the ball in Bryce Young's hands, and a couple of times
the run game was not working.
The run game was not working, and Bryce Young for the majority of the time was pulling it out. Like,
did we even have 100 total rushing yards on the day?
No, it was like 60 yards on the day.
Yeah, so the entirety of our offense was passing the ball.
No, so,
there is something to what CK is saying about just things coming together.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is. We've seen this. There's so much to this. Is that you can say, "Oh, this ball's good. This person dropped this. There's this. Things just click, and it just finally came together. Where it was a confluence of good, and I'm glad it happened. And I wish it would have happened earlier. I'm glad it happened now. But it's true. It's like, we go back to the 2016 Panthers after that, the loss in the Super Bowl. And I still believe that the first game against, like, there are small things that change the trajectory of everything. A play goes right, and all of a sudden everything goes right, and a play goes wrong, and everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
The Panthers in 2016, after losing the Super Bowl, open up on the road at Denver against the team that they lost the Super Bowl. Cam Newton marches them down for a last minute headhunting. They're headhunting Cam Newton all the way down, and Graham Gano misses that field goal. I think if that field goal makes, all of a sudden that season goes a completely different way. So
an alternate timeline.
It really is a catch. It catches fire, and we finally had this. If you've ever, I don't know, like if you watch Survivor or any of these shows, and they're like make fire out of nothing, and these people are like struggling to make fire, and it's like, and it's all of a sudden it's. We had the right materials, and it just finally sparked. And I don't think it should be mad at people. It's like, oh, you were an asshole. I was right. I was wrong. No, is that we wanted the fire. We were hoping fire came earlier, but this is a fire that we can warm our hands by. And bro, tell us about this chart, Cody.
Well, this is the passing chart. This is what Bryce Young was able to do on Sunday against the Falcons. As you see, 31 of 45, 448 passing yards, 3 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And listen, man, I want to say this about Bryce Young. This dude is putting more gray hairs on my head. He's putting more on my head. He's putting more in my beard. Dude, there's probably even more wisdom streaks in my pubes, if I'm being honest with you, bro.
He wasn't supposed to live past 2. He wasn't even supposed to have poops.
And you know what, man? I want to echo the sentiments of our brother JD in the chat. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I want so badly for this to be that break in the timeline that you're talking about, Tony Dunn. The moment where Bryce Young changed the trajectory into being the guy that we can believe in and day out. I want it so bad. I want to put all the drama behind us. I want to know for sure that Bryce Young is him. It was an incredible performance. But what I know as of right now, Bryce Young owns the soul of the Atlanta Falcons to the point where they better erect a fucking statue in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium of Bryce Young choking the life out of a Falcon with a crown on top of his head, because he truly is the king of Atlanta.
Can we acknowledge?
What I need more.
Mhm.
I'm greedy, CK.
You want more.
I don't want just one incredible performance here and there. I want to know every week that Bryce Young is the type of guy that will bring Tony Dunn all the way from Greensville up to my porch, and he'll be able to look me in my fucking eyes and say, Cody, I know that we have a chance today because Bryce Young is under center for the Carolina Panthers.
It's a good feeling.
That's what I want.
Do you guys want to? Do you guys want to hear additional poetry?
Yeah, I hear it.
Do you remember who Bryce played his first NFL game against?
New Orleans, correct?
Was it New Orleans? I thought it was the Falcons.
I don't know. Tell me, you're the one. You're the poet.
Am I not wrong? It wasn't AJ Terrell the first one who threw an interception. He threw an interception too on the first play of the game.
Tell us.
Am I wrong in that? It was Atlanta.
All right, look. I mean,
I'm pretty
don't
sure
let Cody.
Now you're making me second guess this.
Don't let Cody say it with your chest, CK.
But I'm just saying the poetry of all of it is: would he not have his career start in the most Jesse Bates? That's what it was. In the most horrifying way. First play of the game, he throws an interception, and then the second play of the game, if I'm not mistaken, he threw another interception, or his second play. It's something along those lines. It was a bad game. Worst possible start you can have. And then you have the best possible game you could ever have as a Carolina Panther against the same team. I'm just saying, man, the universe can talk, and the universe talks in signs. And what I mean by the universe is God. And the thing that I absolutely love about Bryce Young is he follows up a 440, almost 450 yard performance, and his answer is all glory to God. The dude is just, if you don't look at what he did on Sunday, I said it Sunday after the game, you have to have mad respect for this guy. If you're somebody in the chat who is just like, still, this dude's get him out of I don't like him, I don't want whatever, like you can have the hope that the dude is not on your team as the quarterback all you want. I don't mind. But if you walked away from this game with less respect without any more respect for Bryce Young than you had, you're just sitting in your feelings at this point in time.
Silly. It would be silly.
Can we say this? It's a step in the right direction. Vegas Panthers Drew is in the chat.
A giant leap.
It's a giant leap in the right direction.
For
but
Panther kind.
It's like I said.
It's a
look,
small step for man, a giant leap for Panther Nation.
Well, and listen, shout out to Panthers Drew. He says with another $5, he says, I don't even want another $400 game. I just want to see Bryce have 250 with 0 turnovers Monday, show the slightest ability of consistency. I think that when we are finally able to see back-to-back performances where we get this kind of Bryce and not turning the ball over and really being just a badass franchise quarterback that we all want him to be, then I think all of this goes away. We're not going to have any legitimate questions about a fifth-year option or breaking open the bank as G Baby is calling for. We are going to know once and for all that this guy is someone that we can depend on day in and day out. Because if he does lay a couple more stinkers, then we might still be looking at that free agent quarterback list. And nobody wants that, dude. We're pulling for Bryce to do this, but he has to be the one to continue to do it. And I believe that now him and Dave Canales finally have the game plan to continue to do it. So now the schedule is ripe with a bunch of incredibly hard competition. It's time to put up or shut up.
Look, I've said it.
Poetry.
I've said it for the last 2 years, and I've definitely said it for the last year. Is this is not about me being right or wrong or anything like this. Is I need Bryce Young to work. I need Dave Canales to work. We need all of that to work. And G Baby, stick around because you're my brother, because this is coming for you. It's like we need it. We can't have it otherwise. Otherwise means misery. Otherwise means all the same crappy shit that has faced us since we had my man, Cam Newton, the man that I could look and say to Cody and say, this dude I rock with. This is dude. You want to play beer pong? I pick Cam. You want to play bowling? I pick Cam. You want to do this? I pick Cam. So G Baby, my brother, and he is. I'm gonna tell you this: is I don't need 448 yards. I'll take it. Thank you. Take that. I'll take that sweep against the Falcons. I want Bryce to fuck like you say he fucks. That's all I want. That's for you, G Baby.
Porn star level piping. What's up?
Like, man, I want him to fuck like you say he fucks. Let's fuck with them motherfuckers.
We want him to fuck like a young.
Like
how about this? We want him to fuck like a young Dave Canales fucks.
Let's not go down that road. I wasn't going that far. I was just saying. I was saying like metaphorically. I wasn't like literally talking fuck. Like,
no, we want him to
turn your earphones off,
bro.
Oh, I was just saying, man. I just want that dude to rock like
slinging
that.
It.
Like G Baby says, this mug rocks, and I'm with it. So let's go. What we got next, Cody?
Well, yeah, man. And just before we move off of the Bryce subject altogether, the NFL official Twitter page has picked up.
I got questions
on the
this.
Superstar.
Is this Bryce Young or is it Carolina Mutt? Okay.
No, this is Bryce Young doing his rendition of Carolina Mike, man. If you had 150,000,
I throw 448 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, I think the better question is if you had 150,000, would that be enough to have you give up on Tetairoa McMillan, aka T-Mac? Dude.
Whoever gave up. I want to say this. Anybody is, I don't know. Are we talking national media? Are we talking? I think out of all the people that have gotten any of the shade or what is it? The crossfire? Like
you're still talking about Carolina Mike.
No, like T-Mac? Yeah, it's like people are like, you know how if there's anybody that's gotten any shade or what is it where you get a stray bullets? Who in the world? There were people that are like, oh, was this the right pick? They have to be like the 1 in 1,000 people. If you watch the Panthers this year and you watch T-Mac, like there may be 1 out of 1,000 people said, oh, he could be faster. This mug is good.
Dude, he really is
great.
Right, look, I was one of the people who doubted his separation ability against NFL corners.
Overrated.
That if he would be able to do that. But listen, man, this dude has put to bed all of those concerns.
Yep.
He was nominated to be I don't know if he won or if he was nominated. I think that you can still vote for Tetairoa to be the rookie of the week.
How would he not just automatically get it? Why is there even a vote?
Well, I don't know what all the other rookies did.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Somebody tell us where another rookie could even come close to this. I cannot believe there's another rookie that had a game that even sniffs this.
So, dude,
yeah, the issue I have right now is not even this. Like, what I have an issue with is on Twitter/X. They post the NFL air and ground players. You vote for them, and obviously you have the air players. It's Bryce Young, Jacoby Brissett, who threw like 2 interceptions. He just broke a NFL record for most receptions, like pass completions in a single game or something crazy. And then Josh Allen, who had 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Well,
I
he's
think
not a rookie.
No. I'm
Yeah,
just
we're
talking
just
about that.
talking about rookie of the week.
Well, listen to what I'm going to say next. The reason that I have an issue is that the next group is Tetairoa McMillan, I believe, a running back, the running back for the Tampa Bay Bucks, who had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
And nothing, like he was like less than 5 yards average per carry, and he was winning the votes against Tetairoa McMillan, who had 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we won, and the Tampa Bay Bucks did not win. Like I find this interesting that people are voting, and that dude, I had never even heard of his name before.
But dude, how about this? There's a lot of fucking idiots who vote for these stupid polls. We know is that Tetairoa is currently number 4 in the NFL in total receiving yards, and he's also the top rookie. Basically, this is the top offensive rookie receiver in the NFL at 748 receiving yards. Tony, that's more than Emeka Ibuka. Now, you and I have had the conversation earlier in the year. Who is more in line to be the offensive rookie of the year? Right now, he seems to be the clear number 1, even above another beast in the form of Tyler Warren, a tight end with 617 yards. Tony, it's looking like T-Mac, a.k.a. Nalo, is on the route to be the offensive rookie of the year.
Well, do
you still feel like he is number 2 to Emeka Ibuka for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
No, I think he's surpassing him right now. I think this game is what it takes to take these guys that are 1, 2, and 3 and to differentiate, because it is something that you have to take into account the entire year. So this is just receivers here. This is not running backs and like different positions that, I mean, there might be a rookie defensive end that has 5 sacks or something, then we can have different conversations. To me, this all comes back to this, and this is not shitting. It's going to sound like I'm shitting on somebody that's on our team who I like, and that is Xavier Legette. And we get too caught up in 40-yard times in the combine, these numbers, these metrics. The combine verifies what you see on tape. It doesn't. Look, if you can go to John Ross fucking set the record. Wasn't that guy, what was his name? John Ross? I think that's right. Something Ross.
Like that,
yeah. Set the record for the fastest person, right? Xavier Legette ran a 40 time faster than Tet, but he doesn't play faster. So what I think is this is like, is there a real if you run a 4.3 and you run a 4.7, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
But if you run a 4.3 and a 4.4 and you play at the same speed, I think this is that there are people across the league, and there have been national pundits that are saying, like, I'm glad that the Panthers shot their shot on Tet, and they didn't listen to the this and that. And somebody pointed out in the chat, and we'll have a lot. We'll talk about Steve Smith. He went on the pivot. Love Steve Smith. I love Steve Smith. And people talk about his scouting receivers and this and that. I think
Steve was not a big fan of T-Mac coming out of Arizona State.
And I don't want to put words in Steve Smith's mouth.
He had a lot of the same concerns that I did about Tetairoa.
But a lot of people came back to Tet in that first, he was a freshman in college, and they asked him something. He said, I don't watch a lot of tape. You're a freshman in college. College people don't barely, they're like, you're coming out of high school. Like, no, you don't watch tape. You go out there and you do your shit. Steve Smith went on the pivot and said he didn't love football, and that's what made him great. So if we latch on to one statement, all I know is this mug lean, mean, and I tell you this, and rest in peace, and this is an homage to the man I started this podcast with, Joe Riolano. Joe Riolano always told me about this, is about a receiver. He said somebody that went and attacked the ball. They didn't let the ball come to him. They went and attacked it. And I would put Ted up there with anybody about this, is the mug goes after the football. He don't let it come to him. He attacks the football. This guy's great. I cannot tell you. You might be able to look. You can say, "Oh, Kelvin Benjamin had a statistically better rookie year" or something like this. But I will tell you right now, eye test, real test, Tetairoa McMillan, best wide receiver pick that I've seen for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
First round, out the gate, any round out the gate. This guy's the truth. I want him to not only continue this progress that he's doing this, but I want this to be not the top, but just a stepping stone to the greatness that he can be.
Well, as of right now, Tetairoa is on pace to have 1,157 receiving yards. I don't remember whatever the fuck Kelvin Benjamin did, but this dude has proven himself to be the go-to guy and the number one wide receiver in this offense. I mean,
you give him one more week, Cody. Cody, you give him one more week like last week, and then all of a sudden when you say on pace, that will be on pace. You said 1,001. One more,
I believe 1,157 yards.
Right. Think about
however
this.
They quantify that.
Right,
I don't know.
because they're taking 10 games, they're juxtaposing that number over 17. But think about this: the Panthers' passing offense came to life this week. So all right, Bryce is not going to throw 448 every week, but he's not going to. What if he doesn't throw 102 yards every week? 100. He's on pace to have 1,000 yards, where the quarterback finally crested 200 yards in week 10. If we can put together 4 or 5 weeks where Bryce is throwing 250, 300 yards, now you're talking 1,500 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, listen, I mean, even if he doesn't follow it up with another 2-touchdown performance of 130 yards, if he continues to be that dude that Bryce looks for in a pinch, everything that you drafted him to be, he now is. He is that number one wide receiver that the Panthers have been desperate for such a long time now. And, one of the keys to his success in this game specifically was the Panthers putting him in the slot. And Tony, I've said this before. I love it when teams put their number one wide receiver in the slot, because most of the times it's the best matchup, because they're not prepared, most teams, to have their nickel corner going up against the number one wide receiver for that team. So I wanted to play this clip of Dave Canales talking about why they decided to do that and what made this performance so special for T-Mac.
Crazy stat by Next Gen that, and also relying him to win some one-on-ones. But that becomes exactly the same.
Turn it all the way up.
Same number of catches, yards, and touchdowns inside the numbers. And
one more
a crazy stat by Next Gen that he had exactly the same number of catches, yards, and touchdowns inside the numbers and outside. Was that by design?
Yes, just trying to move him around, trying to make sure that he doesn't get the hard down every play. And when I say the hard down, anytime you're in a 3-by-1 formation and he's the single side X, there's a lot of things that a defense can do. First and foremost, you can put your best corner over there to cover him. Secondly, you can cloud it with the safety over top. You can buzz the safety into the hook and have kind of a presence on the weak side. You can use the weak side linebacker to kind of stave off any type of inbreaker. So there's a lot of things that defenses can do when he's singled up. So the goal was to try to just continue to move him around in different spots. The number 3 spot, the number 2 spot, number
Is
1.
this sped up?
1 and a 3-by-1, and just get him in different places.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds like it.
It's not on my end.
And maybe try to get him a little access, knowing that we can also rely on him to win some one-on-ones out there. But that becomes a really difficult position for the receiver as you're trying to, protect all the angles.
I feel like we're speed dating.
Dude, listen, forget that. Listen to the meat of what the man is saying. Dude, forget that shit. I love this. I fucking love this, dude. There was a clip a long time ago that went viral. It was after the Texans played the Panthers, and Deshaun Watson had broke down the Panthers defense and what they were doing. And it went viral because people loved it. To hear players and coaches actually talk X's and O's, it matters. Fans love that shit. And it also shows you the mindset behind why they did what they did with T-Mac. But it also shows you why this dude was hired to be the head coach. This guy knows what he's doing. And listen, we're not
Why
just
didn't he
talking
do it
about
earlier? Maybe a question.
That's a perfect question. But
And
we're
don't
also
they put
talking
Justin
about
Jefferson in the slot all the time? I think this is an old way of thinking. Is XYZ?
Well, but it's not just
outside
moving him in the slot, Tony. It's moving him around to get better matchups for him at different points in the game when you have those gotta have it first downs that you need to have. And shout out to JD in the chat. He said, learn something listening to this right here. Tony, how many times have you and I played a clip of a coach and it just sounds like the normal drivel coach speak that no one really gives a fuck about? If Dave Canales does more of this and starts to reveal some of the method behind the madness, I guarantee you more and more fans are going to want to tune in to listen to what Dave Canales is saying. But also, it's going to win over more fans that trust his decision making, that trust that he knows what he's doing with these weapons that Dan Morgan has put on this football team. It was a great game plan by Canales, and it was a great answer by Canales during this press conference. I sincerely hope that we get more of it.
Well, let me pee on your leg.
I agree.
Oh,
Let me
fuck
pee
that.
on your leg.
Piss somewhere else.
I went. No, it's right here. Where was this earlier? Number one, I think the idea of the X receiver, like X. Oh, he's the greatest. We could put him on the boundary. He's the guy that changes all this. He said that it makes it tough for them in a lot of places. They can limit these different things. But let's also go back and you flip it to defensively where the Panthers have struggled.
Sure.
And they go, oh, well, we play zone. Why don't you let Xavier trail? Or why don't you flip the zone and do this? Those teams can do the same exact shit against us defensively. Or, like they're saying the reason we don't do that against teams is because offensively they can do this to us. We don't flip JC Horn. We don't trail this because we're not built for this. We're not this. I feel like coaches use X's and L's when it's in their benefit. And I'm glad they're doing this. I'm just upset. Like, I think this is too much in the vein of the great receiver is on the outside. I actually think now we watch Justin Jefferson operate.
We're struggling right now.
We watch Justin Jefferson operate from the slot all the time. And he's the best receiver in the league. So I'm happy we're doing this. I don't think we need to put Tet on the outside only to verify he can be an outside receiver. We should have been doing this more. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, and that's a legit criticism. And again, we're trying to dissect why the performance against the Saints was a night and day difference compared to what it was against the Falcons. And that's a legitimate question.
Really weird.
It's so weird because then again, where it makes you go back and think, well, okay, did Bryce have that kind of performance just because the play calling was so conservative?
No.
But then what the fuck? That's what I'm saying. If that's not the answer, then why?
Somebody said all the X's
why
and
not
O's
push
are
all the
XLs.
buttons? But
Somebody said all the X's and O's are XLs confusing. Yes, they are. XL, all
They
that.
are.
What I'm saying
But-
is that
But it doesn't make him wrong, Tony. What I'm saying is that when Dave Canales says that, it's legitimate to say, yes, we should have seen it more. But everything that he said is good football game planning, and it's maximizing the most of your talent that you have on the football team.
Why does it work now when you're talking offense, but when we were talking defense before, it was like, oh, this doesn't work that way? That's all I'm saying. It's like, oh, you can negate your defense by doing this. That's what he told us every time that you said.
You mean about moving JC Horn around?
Or all of that. They said, oh, they can put, this is what they told us when we run this defense, that, oh, they can change things. They can put their player in the slot. They can move them to the other side. They can do motion. All right, I accept that. Then why aren't we doing that on offense more?
Mm-hmm.
And we did it this time, and it fucking made a difference.
It's a legit
So I'm
question.
sorry. It's like, put this big ass tall motherfucker in the slot and run him to the boundary, run him inside. I think running from the slot gives him a more diversity of routes. And again, I might not be an XL guy. An exit. Oh, wait, I meant XO.
He's right.
I was kidding on that point. I was kidding on that point.
You weren't. No, you weren't.
I was. I
You
might
weren't.
not be an X and L go guy. No, the point is this is like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you apply that? I think that you get too locked in. Why were they locked in on saying he needed to be on the outside so much?
CK, what do you think?
I'd love to say that I think that that there was a strategy to this whole thing. I do agree with Tony. I think that it's easy to look at this and say, yeah, that was my, I take credit for that. That's something we've done intentionally. I don't know that I entirely buy it. I'm not saying that he's lying. I just think that it's maybe a little convenient for that to be the answer.
I agree. All right, convenient it is. Cody, let's keep going, and then let's get to some calls. It's already 10 o'clock. We haven't taken any calls yet. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you added this. This is something from Nick Wright's Mahomes Mountain, who is the ultimate Mahomes dick sucker.
Let me put some context in this. So I saw this image and I looked at it. I was like, huh, this is funny. And then I went to the comments, and it was from like Sports Clickbait Twitter or something like this. And they said this image was from months ago. So it was from this season, though. And I was like, okay, no problem, as this is meant to make people infuriated or whatever, because Lamar's hurt, all of this. But there's not I don't care. It's not that it was not that the Panthers had a big passing game this week. But even if this was from the very first week, before a single snap happened this season, can anybody tell me what's wrong with this image? And think of week one.
Yeah.
Week 1 of 2026, the pyramid. What the fuck is going on here?
So should I just say the quiet part out loud?
Or not the quiet part, the real thing. Say it.
There's no Bryce Young in the photo.
There's not even a fucking Carolina quarterback on this.
Yeah, there is no Panthers quarterback in there at all. Yet there is a Matt Jones, there is a Browning, there's a Joe Flacco. But, Tony, this kind of runs back to what we were saying earlier, and to, well, honestly, what CK was saying earlier, that whenever teams play us, there's this idea of, oh, this team lost to the Carolina Panthers. Can you believe it? Like, dude, the fact of the matter is, whether you love this or hate this, the Panthers writ large in the eyes of national NFL media and even fans at large, we're an afterthought The
Think about
Panthers,
this.
the
It's
Panthers
Browning.
do not matter on a public stage.
All right, so this could not have been from months ago because Browning wasn't a starting quarterback. All right, so Flacco, what Flacco's up
But
here?
yeah,
right?
no, look, Flacco's playing for the Browns in that
Right.
image, and Browning is playing. So that was before they traded.
Okay, but they have Browning. Come on, this is my
So there's
friend
only-
Clips.
There's only 28 players on those, so there's
All
going to be
right,
at least
well,
4
how
teams
about
left
that?
out. I'd be interested to see who the other 4 are.
Well, like let's put
Yeah,
Browning.
Michael Penix up there.
Browning.
So who's
That's
who's
the one. That's
so-
the one that's the problem here out of everybody.
So they don't have a Saints quarterback up there, I'm guessing. They
Nope,
Yeah,
no Saints
Trevor Lawrence.
quarterback.
so
So
is
44.
Daniel Jones up here?
No.
Oh yeah, he is.
How
Wait,
about
where,
this?
where, where,
If we
Oh, yeah, you're
redid
right.
this pyramid right now, where do you put Bryce Young?
So 44 Rose said this is an old one. Bryce was on it today. I never watch any of these Fox
No, this
Sports
is
shows.
an old one.
Yeah.
This is the fact that if this was week 1, this is my point of putting it on the show. Was Browning should not be ahead of Bryce Young. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like this, Bryce Young should have made the fucking pyramid.
Well, it wasn't week 1 because Burrow would have been starting week 1. That's the Cincinnati
Yeah.
Bengals.
All right. So week
Yeah.
2,
Well, no, I mean, whenever it was, I mean,
there is something
Dude,
wrong here.
this
There's
is-
something strange.
well, but again, this is what people thought about Bryce Young. You know, everybody wants to flame me for not having believed in Bryce this whole time. There have been a lot of fucking people who didn't believe in Bryce this whole time. So I think
Right.
that's a testament to that. He did not look great, but even if you're looking at what he did at the end of last year, he still deserved to at least be on the bottom or at least the
Yes.
second tier of this list. But Nick Wright's a fucking moron. I can't stand that
Well,
dude.
I mean, I think he's
Anybody
funny
on,
and that,
anybody on, dude, nobody even listens to any of those dudes except for Colin Cowherd. That's it. None of those dudes matter. That's why they're getting Barstool on the network because
okay.
nobody's even watching them. But, dude, I'd be interested to see where they are now. As of right now, he's probably what in tier. So he's not the bottom. He's in somewhere in the next 2 tiers, probably, right? Until he puts more of those performances together, I think it's
Right.
fair to put him probably in the next tier up.
I would say this is he is in there's a lot of guys that are ascending this list. Look, Gino's falling, Matt Jones is fucking ascending, Sam Darnold's at the top, Love, like here is Drake May's at the top now. He's got to be at the very minimum. I'm thinking, I mean, at the very minimum, he's at the bottom tier, right? Like he makes the list. Let's just say this is like, I don't care who you are. He's like on the list. And like, we can replace him. We could like, you could put Bryce on the Wilson picture, the Kyler Murray picture, the Trevor picture, maybe. He's in the bottom two. Like, I think he's in the 1, 2. Like CK, how do we explain it? Is like, is at the very minimum, he's at the bottom tier. He could be second tier, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you could make an argument that he is. See, the crazy thing is Nick's being down there. Now, I'm not saying the dude.
No,
is like
this is at
lighting
the
it up,
early.
but
This is early in the season, right?
even
so
if you
all
look at
these
last
guys are
year,
going to shift.
Knicks, I mean, you got to keep in mind he got to the Broncos went to the playoffs, and Knicks was a big part of that. That's having if this is the very beginning of the year, having Knicks below Drake May is wild. Drake May didn't have a great year last year, so like that. Now, if this shifts, I'm assuming Drake May's in that top 3. Not
Somebody
top 3,
send
but maybe
us
top
the
6,
new
but
pyramid.
Herbert's going to have to drop. Baker Mayfield's going to have to drop. Mahomes is going to have to drop because you're going to have to go Drake May up there. You're going to put Darnold maybe in that top 6 outside of that bad performance he had. Jones is going to have to be in that top 6. Stroud and Jaden Daniels are going to drop down a tier, I think. Hurts is going to drop down a tier.
He's got to. There's no way you're putting BY9 in the 3 tier. And
So-
I'm going from
No.
bottom up.
If Lamar,
No.
if Lamar is tier 1 and the bottom is tier 7, because there's 7 levels.
Okay, so I'm thinking this.
I'm saying you put him in.
6.
Yeah, I think 6 is fair until Bryce is able to stack those performances that we have seen him, have at his highest heights. Then, yeah, I think that's fair. But dude, look. Let's put a positive spin on it since everyone says that we're so negative, right? Bryce Young, especially in the next couple of games, has the opportunity to jump up this list. I'm talking not being, going up 1. I'm talking about if he's able to beat along with the rest of the team, of course, beat the Rams, beat the 49ers, beat Tampa.
Dude,
Yeah,
Like,
he'll be
dude,
back
he's-
on that list. He'll
Dude,
be
these
back
are-
on that list.
Yeah, he's easily in tier 4.
you
Maybe
know who
even
else
3.
is? You know who else is left off of this?
Who's that?
Tua.
Oh, no. Somebody sent the new list on Twitter. Cody, let's take some calls real quick, and then let's put that list up, the new list up. Did you send it to me? You say maybe they sent it to me on Twitter.
Sure.
Hope you sent it to Cody.
Send it to me at Cody Light.
Oh, they sent it to me. All right, I got it. I'm gonna send it to you.
You might not want to follow me on Twitter. People hate me on Twitter.
No,
But shout out to Rose, man.
no, I got
you want to do it?
Let's-
You want to do it now, or you want to do the calls?
No, let's go ahead and take a call, and we'll come back to this.
All right, hey man. If you would like to have your voice heard on the longest running Panthers podcast in the universe, call in to the show and leave a message in the Cat Calls line at 252-228-5098. Let the C3 Legion tell us how they're feeling about these Carolina Panthers as we head into Monday Night Football.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Call in during the win, which makes me upset because I don't want me to look like I'm dodging. Everybody knows I'm the
This
not
is
the
Vegas
biggest,
Drew, by the way.
Bryce Young supporters. But I mean, the dude balled out. Obviously, like he had a good game, and as I know, I like to go back and forth on Twitter or X with C3, but just for fun, we get on there and I put my stuff on there and just have a good old time with him. I just think
You're good, Drew.
it's fun when you look at I was curious because I looked up the all-time stats of all the most since he set the record for Carolina for the most passing yards in a game. I looked up, I was like, I wonder who he's in the realm with, and I saw on there that he was 3 yards more than Blake Bortles. And we're actually the 4th lowest overall, I think. Another crazy thing, I'm sure as all us Panthers fans out there, I have a hard time being, what do you want to call it? Not positive, but optimistic, because, I mean, you can't look at any of these final games as much as we want to and look at them and say oh, this is a win. Mm-hmm. We can win this. We can make the playoffs. When we lose to the Saints, I don't see how we could be betting favorites or favorites to win any of our remaining games. Not that we can't win them. I'm just saying I don't see how we can be looked at as someone who's a favorite to win them. But, hey, I want to be positive.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows I'm not a big Bryce fan, but I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. So he's our quarterback, and I want to win.
Respect.
We've been losing for so long. Always want to win. I just want to see. I mean, it's so crazy. He doesn't have any 200-yard games, but he has a 300-yard and a 400-yard game, and then all 100-yard games. If you look at the last three, he threw more yards in one game in the last three games. But, you know, I'm sure, like I said, I want to be positive. But at this point, I'm just like trying to not be negative. Like I want to look towards, you know, we have opportunity here for playoffs. So I'm gonna stay in that mindset. And like I said, hopefully this next game with an opportunity, Bryce performs again. We'll see you guys later. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, brother. Hey, look, like I said earlier, we all want to see more. We want to see Bryce stack these performances. Drew, you're cool over here, dude. Listen, everybody knows I take a lot of shit on Twitter for going hard on Bryce for a long time. And I don't really feel like people need to have their minds made up right now. Why? We have said that this season is incredibly important for Bryce. This season is not over. We're a half a game out of first place. If we're able to come away at the top of the division, dude, it's going to change the way everyone thinks about Bryce. And it's going to change how we talk about this fifth-year option decision that we have coming up very, very soon.
You know what else it's going to do? It's going to make us a desirable location for free agents again.
That part.
We said this last year. We said that we were going to be a more desirable location. We had a shot at some big names and we weren't able to pull it through because they were asking ridiculous amounts for themselves. But go get your money. I don't mind one bit. But it's a different situation when you're coming in as a divisional winners. And as an example, right? The Bucs were able to land Reddick, who we all know. We wanted them here with the Panthers. He's been wildly disappointing in the Buccaneers organization so far, but that team, that organization can draw some talent. It's I think perception is incredibly important when you're talking about building a team, especially if it's not coming through the draft. So I think winning the division does a lot more for the team than just give the fans hope. It gives anybody who's planning on coming to the Carolina Panthers a little bit of optimism as well.
All right, let's take another call.
That was beautiful. Bipolar Bryce finally came out and did a Superman impersonation. We have a chance to make the playoffs. Keep it up. Go, Rico. Go, Superman. Bipolar Bryce. Thank you.
That was at 7:55 Monday morning. Man was still enjoying the win. I had the flu this weekend. I feel like, I don't know, but it really, in the wake of it, felt like that. I wish I could have just been partying with y'all. Man, I was blowing my nose and sneezing on this damn post game. It was the best. Think about that. Is the most time, like the time to celebrate the most for me in 8 years on this show. I was like running a fever and coughing and sneezing like a crazy person. You know what? I will get the flu every week if Bryce throws for 448 or whatever it was. True that.
What's up, y'all? It's Lucas from Forest City. Reason I
What's
want to
up,
call
Luke?
today is talk about our opponent next week.
Is the sound right?
McCaffrey
Callers, please
and the
tell us
San
if you're
Francisco
listening.
49ers.
Turn it up, turn it down.
Christian's time in Carolina was very short, but the impact he made here was huge. I still remember that Hall of Honor game when we inducted Jake Delhomme and Steve Smith, and Christian Dang cut a front flip into the end zone and scored a touchdown. I'm curious what y'all's favorite Christian McCaffrey's moment was in Carolina. I'm definitely going to be wearing my 22 jersey on Monday Night Football. And I want to end this quote with one of my favorite Jason Aldean songs. It sure left a mark on us. We sure left our mark on it. We let the world know we were here with everything we did. Laid a lot of memories down like tattoos on this town. Keep pounding. Go Panthers. Beat the Niners.
Keep pounding.
Keep
All right,
pounding,
listen,
man.
turn the calls up a bit. Thank you. Thank you for giving us that feedback. Your favorite Christian McCaffrey moment for me it's gonna be one of humility. And it's not like a favorite moment. It's like I'm not above saying I didn't want somebody. I didn't like. I hate the draft. I hate all the prognosticating and all the luck and the fortune and I'm this and that.
Yeah.
I saw him in college and he was electric. It's like crazy. This guy's running kickbacks. He's doing everything. And this is when Joe Riolano was still alive, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we just like them hard pipe hitting motherfuckers. If you've ever seen Pulp Fiction, right? And I wanted, who's the cat that went to Jacksonville? I think he went to Jacksonville. Where'd he go?
Leonard Fournette.
Yes. I was like Leonard Fournette. That's who I wanted. And it's not about McCaffrey's ability. It was like, oh, his durability. Can he? And to be honest, like now my whole it's like a mind meld because Bryce Young has had less injuries than anybody.
Yeah.
And God, look, Lord Jesus Christ. I'm lifting his health up to you. But the idea that, I mean, when I saw Bryce Young and all the things that Cody told me, it's like, what they can do? They can throw out of the pocket. They can throw out the gun. They can do this. They can do that. I just said this, is the motherfucker little. And it wasn't about seeing over the line. I thought, damn, this fucking giant motherfucker is going to fall on him and he's going to be broken. And Bryce Young gets up every fucking time, dude. Like he's
tough.
He's
tough. No one can ever take that away from him.
His bones are malleable. They say this, if you I have a friend that not raw feeds his dog. Like he gives his dog raw meat. Like that's how he feeds. Like he does it. He gives him raw. It's like he gives him a concoction of vegetables and he gives them raw chicken. And you're not supposed to give chicken to dogs, right? That's the rule. I mean, chicken and dogs, because it splinters and all this. Well, when you cook it, it turns into splinters. But when it's raw, it's malleable. Bryce Young got some damn 12-year-old bones, bro. That mug is like, I don't know if y'all used to skateboard. Like, I want to go back and skateboard and skate that pipe back like I did when I was 14. But I'm 44 now, and I hit that half pipe, and my hip be cracking. He got flexibility to his bones. So I will say this, to bring it all back, Bryce Young got some damn teenage bones that be flexible and malleable. Thank you, Jesus. He is way fucking more. I did not expect it, and I'm glad it was. And that's why I wanted Leonard Fournette. That's why I wanted.
Well,
I thought,
but also, you know what it is, Tony? It's the fact that even if he is hurt, one, he is not hurt very often. At least I don't think. I would not say that Bryce Young fits the criteria to be called an injury-prone player.
True.
Right
but
now,
Leonard Fournette is not in the league anymore. How about that?
Who gives a fuck about that guy? I'm saying Bryce, even when he's hurt, he bounces back and is willing to go out there. And this game really showed the level of toughness that even when he's hurt, even when he's down, he's willing to bounce back, get back in there, and go out there for his team. And I really do feel like even the Buffalo Bills game, I'm willing to bet that he was probably pushing his hardest to get out there and play against the Buffalo Bills instead of Andy Dalton going out there and shitting the bed. This really did do a lot to show how much Bryce is willing to do to win football games.
CK, Hollywood Gaming asked this: who lasted longer, AR or BY9?
I mean,
my
I think
question
it's pretty clear.
My question, though, is who lasted longer, Christian McCaffrey or Leonard Fournette? Think about that. My initial concern with Christian McCaffrey was longevity, not ability, and think about this is going back like Leonard Fournette. Nobody even knows his name anymore.
Right, I agree.
He's missing.
And CK, before you go here, also remember that when comparing AR and Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson literally took a play off. He told the coaches to take him out the game because he was exhausted. He was too high. He was too tired. Is that ever some shit that you would ever imagine Bryce Young doing?
No, I mean, it's I can't imagine any quarterback doing that in today's NFL. Like, that's a wild thing to be known for nowadays. Listen, here's the thing is we thought at the end of Bryce Young's rookie season, we said Bryce Young might be the worst quarterback in the class. And right now, again, CJ Stroud has had some injury issues. You could make an argument that he is very close to being the best one out of that class. As you know, we see both AR falling to the wayside. You have Mayo boy falling to the wayside. There's some pieces that certainly make us feel a little bit better about the choices we made at the position. Again, a lot of that's still TBD. The whole CJ Stroud and Bryce Young conversation is going to be there probably until the end of time. I hope that this is going to be our Brady and Peyton Manning situation, but right now, time will tell.
All right, next call.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack, the C3 Legion.
Hope Dilla, what's up?
Real quick. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hey, Cody Lack. So would you say that this was Bryce Young's defining game? I know you were talking about that a while back. You wanted to see a defining game from him.
Yeah.
And,
now, for
like
sure.
We may have one there. But hey, I wanted to give some praise, man, to some unsung heroes on Sunday, man.
Let's do
How
it.
about the performances of both Mitchell Evans as well as Corey Thornton?
He's gotten a lot of love on social media
was our
lately.
highest graded defender on Sunday. His PFF score was almost an 80. It was like a 79.2, which for a backup, man, that's pretty stellar right there. But hey, we got Claude and Cherilus stepping up, for Trayvon Wallace, man. I was thinking about this too, y'all, with the Panthers South, Carolina Panthers winning and the Panthers North, Buffalo winning, that really helped us out in the division. So we can say both keep pounding as well as keep grumbling. But, just a quick question, man. What y'all think about angry Bryce, man? Bryce was angry after the last press conference. And rightfully so. After the last one before this game, after we lost to the Saints, he was pretty angry. I love to see this fire out of Bryce Young, man, but it's a small sample size. We got a bigger size, so he got to keep it going. But hey, this the Hope Dilla. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. I love it. If an angry Bryce Young gives us that kind of performance, bro, make him angry all the time. I'm into it. So by the way, this was the PFF grades that he was talking about. On defense, Corey Thornton scored a 73.3. Dude, another undrafted player that Dan Morgan can lay claim to. The thing that I love the most about it is, yes, Corey Thornton can be a really fantastic boundary corner in the future for the Panthers, maybe even the successor to Mike Jackson. But on top of that, it makes me feel better about Dan Morgan that we have a guy who is identifying gems in undrafted free agency and getting these guys to want to come to Carolina. That's incredibly impressive and super important. And dude, shout out to Thornton. He has all the necessary traits to be that outside corner. Maybe he's the next Jonathan or Josh Norman. You never know, man.
CK, one thing I had heard in some of the post-game conferences, and albeit I didn't listen to every post-game conference verbatim,
sure,
right? So I heard snippets based on what people heard or said. But Canales said that they felt comfortable with Thornton moving around pieces to push Drake London into different positions. So it's not like, oh, we want to put Thornton on Drake London necessarily, but they felt comfortable enough with Thornton. And I was like this. I was like, damn, this guy who is like, and I mean, look, maybe I should be embarrassed or something. Like, I just felt like the coaching staff all of a sudden was like this. This Thornton guy was really a part of the magic. And then these PFF grades came out and all of this came out. Turns out that Thornton ain't so bad.
No, I mean, it's again, here's my take right now. Dan Morgan, I've been on Twitter and I've stated this, and there's been quite a few people that disagree with me, and I want to preface this by stating that I did not want Dan Morgan as our GM. But if you don't look at this list of people, like everybody wants to say Xavier Legette's a disappointment. He's the third best, player on the team, on the offense, right? I'm a fourth in the entire team if you count the defense, right? From PFF score, Xavier Legette, for all the flaws that he's had, the dude has turned it around, and he's found himself open a lot more than we had seen in the previous, just 18 games or whatever it is he's played up to this point. Then you look at Corey Thornton, who is an undrafted free agent. You have Jalen Coker, undrafted free agent. You have a free agent, Enrico Dowdle, who signed for pennies on the dollar. You can bring back Cade Mays, who is has been a bright spot on this offensive line, even if he is showing up as a 53 on this list here. Mitchell Evans, he drafted. I'll go back to last year. Chow Smith-Wade, he's number 5 on the defense with the 67.6. He was drafted last year. Trevin Wallace isn't here, obviously, because he was hurt. But I feel like this year has been a eyes up moment, like moving forward in the right direction type of a situation. The biggest question mark from last year is always going to be Jonathan Brooks moving forward. But outside of that, Dan Morgan has just been fire since his day one. I don't even think last year, everybody wants to point to last year and say it was a busted draft. We didn't have a first round draft pick because we only had one because we traded up for Xavier Legette at number 32, which is basically a glorified second round pick, right? The idea that we have actual contributions from undrafted free agents and people from deep in the draft that year, dude, we've never had that from a GM. Everybody that's been a GM for the Panthers might be able to hit on that first round, maybe that second and third round, but nobody after that. And here we have a handful of people undrafted, drafted late in the round, and Corey Thornton is just a shining star on that resume of Dan Morgan's. Super happy with that dude and the way he played, because he did have a really good game from what I could tell.
All right, how about this? Let's do an exercise. Name one person drafted by Dan Morgan that makes him the star that you're talking about?
Tetairoa McMillan.
Well, I was going to start, but that was not the name. Scorton.
Yeah.
Right. And
second round.
I will not allow the Jonathan Brooks slander to exist. This guy, he's still going to come back and be a boss among boss. You're right. I am. You know how G Baby is to Bryce Young? I am to Jonathan Brooks. So look, Nick Scorton, number 11, boss. And it's so hard to pick a defensive end in round 2. Fuck that. Do you know how many mugs we've been trying to do this? CK, give me a name that makes you believe in Dan Morgan other than Tet McMillan and Nick Scorton.
I'm going to say, oh man, this is such a hard one. I feel like it's a body of work that is overall positive. I'm just going to go out and say Rico Dowdle. It's not a drafting name, but it's
wonderful. Great.
Offensive. I mean, he brought him in for pennies on the dollar.
Money and material.
And we all questioned it. We were like, wait a minute. I mean, it made sense, but we were like, you drafted Travis Etienne. You have Chuba Hubbard on the roster already. We had Blackshear and Jonathan Brooks in the wings. And we were like, why did we really? I mean, it's great. Rico Dowdle had a great year the year before, but that's kind of an odd signing. Here we are. The dude was pivotal in multiple games that we won.
All right, let's take another call. Maybe you guys could tell us. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. We're here live on Tuesday nights. Do us a favor. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. We're here after the game. Good Lord, it's going to be late on Monday night, but we will be here like we've been here for 13 into 14 years. Hanging with y'all. Let's see what John B. Jenkins has to say.
Hey guys, John B. Jenkins here, and just calling in just to reminisce over that game.
What up, John B?
I was just thinking about it, and it was just such an awesome win. I mean, first of all, I had no idea that we've never seen a quarterback throw for 448 yards. And did it even look like it was 448 yards? Mm-hmm. I don't remember it looking like that. But then I go back and watch that highlight reel, and, man, there were some throws that he made where I was like, damn, that was pretty good. I don't know. I've never gotten into the whole Bryce hating or Bryce loving thing. I just need him to work. Like, I need him to work. I don't have time for another rebuild. So he's got to be the guy. But, I mean, just everybody contributed. And, like, we won it with the kicker won the game. We win it in overtime. Bryce sets those records. I mean, God, Tommy Tremble, I can't believe he didn't hurdle somebody. I mean, I just was expecting him to
Tremble's such a beast.
And on that
this
note,
hurtling
I don't
shit
know if
is
any of
so
y'all are Hurricanes fans,
funny.
Carolina Hurricanes fans, but they've got this shirt out right now that says, all it says is, I just hope Seth Jarvis has fun. Well, I want to get a shirt that says, I just hope that Tommy Tremble hurdles someone. Can we make that shirt?
Yeah.
I just hope Tommy Tremble hurdles someone. I don't know. That might be too much.
One catch.
But anyway, I don't know. This is so awesome. I have probably watched more highlights and more Panther content in the last, 24, 48 hours than I have all season. I think I've been like purposely avoiding it. Except for this show.
And that's
just because I don't know. I've been at this since the beginning, and it's wearing on me. But man, if they don't keep pulling me back in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's all I got for right now.
War.
I love you all guys. As always, keep pounding Carolina Panthers. Keep pounding Panthers Rochlaw. Go Fish. Keep pounding C3 Panthers Podcast. I love y'all. John B. Jenkins out.
Go Fish.
Keep pounding, brother. And by the way, John B. Jenkins, a member for 39 months. Says
That's
I just hope
incredible.
Tommy Tremble gets to hurdle someone.
He does hurdle. This was the first time he didn't hurdle someone, and he made more yards. Him and Jatavius Sanders always want to hurdle someone. They're like, want to be in the Olympics, just run and mash people. And did you hear him saying, he said, oh, I run a 4.5. I run a 4.5. Come on, Tommy Tremble. We want that yak. It was a great play.
Dude, that was incredible. Dude, I've been a Tommy Tremble fan for a long time. I felt like he's been underutilized in the passing department. The fact that now we're getting him going and he's making these big boy plays, shoving dudes the fuck off of him. I love that, and we're going to need that type of energy going forward if we're going to make some waves and win this division.
You can be a C3 super fan like John B. Jenkins by hitting the join button for just $1.99 a month. Many hands make for light work. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your time and attention. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, share the show with a friend. The number's 252-228-5098. Just 3 more calls in the hole. Let's go.
Hey guys, it's the growl that makes him howl, aka Joey the Blind Panther. And I rarely, if ever, am calling and like being a bit of a Debbie Downer here, but why am
There
I
ain't no
not
boobs around.
wanting to drink the Kool-Aid? I mean, it's like they keep bringing you, green or whatever the hell Kool-Aid in the flavor of the running game and Rico Dowdle and stuff. And now all of a sudden they bring out the red Kool-Aid in the form of Bryce Young passing for 448 yards. Every time I drink the damn Kool-Aid that the Panthers have brought me, I get my heart broke. So I'm not saying, I just want to ask you. I don't want to say anything. I just want to ask. How do we know that this is not just more lapping up the Kool-Aid after a long day's of work? Because there's one consistent thing about the Panthers and Bryce Young is that he's inconsistent.
Not wrong.
I need to see more. Yes, that was an amazing game. Yes, that was amazing to witness.
Yeah.
Yes, that felt so good to beat up on the Atlanta Falcons. Am I wrong to say that I want to see more before I start getting like smiling ear to ear, drinking the different flavored Kool-Aid and all that other stuff? And I'm not knocking y'all for doing it, because y'all do a podcast. Or we do a podcast. We always do. But y'all, Tony, Cody, and CK, y'all literally have to put in a lot of work behind terrible years. So I just want to leave y'all with that. Anyway, guys.
Hey, man, dude, Joey, you're not wrong. We need to see more of it. The Panthers have been inconsistent. Boys, we've been riding the high a couple of different times this year, only for us to come crashing back down to earth. I've told you that this year the Panthers have been very bipolar. We've had a lot of really high highs, and then almost right after, we have these incredible lows where we just come crashing back down to earth, man. We need for our belief to be rewarded by good play. And especially if we do it in prime time, Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers, man, let us shut down Christian McCaffrey. And I will be on this pod doing backflips, telling y'all, I told you we didn't need Christian McCaffrey, damn it. We didn't and we don't. But the Panthers have to back up my shit talking.
CK?
Man, it's I agree. It's inconsistent, and I wonder if these I wonder if they're learning something. And what I mean by that is, I wonder if this team is beginning to understand how to win games. And maybe they are taking weeks off when they have a really big game that they win and they're like, oh, that was basically our Super Bowl. We're done for the year. And then they get completely curb stomped by a team known as the New Orleans Saints, and they decide, then they realize, and they come back, and then they have a performance like they did this week. I don't care what their record is, the Falcons' record. The Falcons are not a bad team, right? They lost us 30-0 for a lot of reasons, but when you watch their games this year, there's been a lot of games. They took the Colts down to the final play of the game, into overtime themselves. They beat the Bills. Like, the Falcons are not a bad team in the grand scheme of things. So, like, to come in here and do what we did to the number 1 ranked passing defense in the league, by the way, like, that's also a part of this whole thing that's so impressive for Bryce Young. The fact that we're doing this is incredibly heartening, as Tony would say, and it's worthy of praise. But they do have to come in this week knowing they're about to face a team that is they're fighting for their lives in the playoff race right now as well. Even though that's silly to say, they're in a division with the Seahawks and the Rams, and the 49ers right now, as good as they have been looking with Brock Purdy coming back, they're going to be desperate for this win.
They got a great coach, though. We'll talk about that when we talk about the line coming up. 2 more calls, and we're getting into know your foe.
You know who the fuck it is.
Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka!
What's Gucci with my boy? What's Gucci with your Kodak? What's Gucci with your CK? And what's Gucci with my white Italian brother? Let's get into it. I'm a type of guy where it's, what have you done for me lately? My daddy always raised me. It ain't about where you're from. It's about where you're at in fucking life. I don't count Bryce Young's rookie season. I'm going to tell you why. Multiple head coaches, multiple coordinators, all the free agents they brought in for that offense aren't even on NFL teams as of right now. No Dave Canales, horrible defense. There's 18 weeks in a season, right? Meaning there's 17 games. In the last, Bryce Young's last 17 games, his last 17 games, he has 3,800 passing yards, 31 TDs, and 10 interceptions. Now, let me repeat that for you King Bryce / G Baby haters. And Bryce Young's last 17 games, he has 3,800 passing yards, 31 TDs, and 10 interceptions. Shout out to King fucking Bryce, man. Oh, and Tony, you my dog, but I'm going to tell you something, G. We both love Cam Newton, right?
Oh.
He also owns the single-game passing record with 448 yards, meaning he's ahead of Cameron Terrell Newton. And I thought about it. Who else would be happier than me for Bryce Young to break that record? It would be Mr. Tepper himself. David Tepper, my dog, has never gotten along with Cam Newton. When he looks at that passing record at the top, it's not going to say Cam Newton. It's going to say Bryce fucking Young.
You know, it's not going to say the same thing as
the dude that he put his neck on the line for. And I'm telling you right now, they will pay Bryce Young. And it will happen very soon, and they need to do it immediately. Knowing Tillis, how he set up Patrick Mahomes' contract with the 7 years, don't be surprised if Bryce Young gets that same fucking treatment. I'm running out of time, but my white Italian brother, I got one more call.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'm playing the second call, but let's just be careful on this. Gee, baby, my brother. 448. You can pick a thing. Oh, he 1 more yard, 12 more yards, this or that. You know what he didn't do is what Cam did. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was stunned. And not stunned. That's not wrong. Like, it's like, I'm glad that he had the most passing yards. I'm happy. I'm happy that somebody broke the record for passing yards. But, bro, we're fucking, what, 6-5.
Yes.
I don't know
65.
if you remember this. Cam Newton. We went 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl, baby. So, I mean, we can use these individual metrics. You can be like, oh, she got big tits, but no ass. That's what that sounds like. She got big tits.
She got a flatty.
No ass.
She got a flatty. Damn, you hate to see it.
I'm back like the famous Jet Jackson. I'm out here selling hotcakes. Bryce Young is the 5th player in NFL history under the age of 25 with at least 30 completions, 425 passing yards, 3 TDs, and 0 interceptions in one game.
Don't talk shit about
That's
my
phenomenal.
Cam Newton is all
And the
I'm
others
saying.
were Drew Bledsoe, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes did it twice, and same with C.J. Stroud. He did it once as well. Bryce Young owned, since entering the league in 2023, has the most game-winning drives with 10. He was tied with other people with 9, and now he owns the record with 10. Bryce Young's on pace right now to completely shatter the NFL record with the most game-winning drives in NFL history. Do you guys know what that means? King Bryce.
Greatest quarterback of all
King
time.
Bryce, okay. So, I don't know what else you guys want me to say. I mean, shout out to King Bryce. Shout out to the whole the defense. This whole team alone has just been just outstanding, man. And it's awesome to see just the improvement and the development. And I also want to let you guys know this game with Dave going to San Francisco, this is going to be Dave Canales, Nalo, and King Bryce's first games back in California. Shout out to the West Side, man. They're coming back to my home, my neck of the woods. Shout out to all the people on the West Side, on the West Coast. So, you guys, I'm real calm. I'm real settled down right now. It's because I've seen people that I used to fuck with or used to fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? You know, create their little hills, shit on the organization, coach, teams, and they can't even celebrate the win that we just had because all they've been doing is trashing the fucking team, you know what I'm saying? And I thought I had haters last season, but now that this season has come and Bryce Young's got us at 6-5, if we beat the Niners, we're in the wild card position going into the playoffs if we can hold it. And just seeing the hatred that y'all punk ass niggas have for King motherfucking Bryce and G baby, y'all made me motherfucking sick. Shout out to fucking King Bryce. Shout out to my white Italian brother. Y'all know who the fuck it is. It's G baby, and I'm out.
G baby, putting Bryce Young on the Mount Rushmore of Panthers. And we're not going to get into this comment too much, but this makes me laugh so hard.
D'Angelo.
The Hollywood Gaming says some
D'Angelo.
of the best kitty comes from a flatty. What I want to know is which is it, flat top, flat bottom, and it's got to be not bottom.
No, a flatty is the opposite of a fatty, and a fatty is a fat ass. So he's saying that combo that you were talking about with them big titties and a flat ass
is the best.
Hits. That's where he said some of the best cat
That's a
comes
false
from.
narrative in the history of the world. Sorry. I'm sorry. My Mount Rushmore still goes to Cam Newton. You can take your little titties or your little ass. Whatever.
Yeah, he said he's had both. He said
I don't care.
He's tasted the range of what you can have, and he said that, hey, you know what, man? I think it's subjective. I think it's, hey, there are some women with the best bodies that they're some of the worst ladies you've ever had. Then there's some bitches that fucking know how to keep you around. Well, you know what? Let me stop.
Okay.
People don't think I get nothing. People, you'd be
That's
surprised.
enough. That is enough. And I'm sorry. You can play mental gymnastics. This mental gymnastics is enough for me to move on to the next topic.
You're such a prude, Tony Dunn.
I am. I hate all this stuff. Like, I'm sorry. If I cannot set my drink on it over here, I don't want to talk about it. Let's go.
All right. Was that the last call?
Yep. Like, we're finished. Like, let's fly through it. Fly through it like these little tiny tops.
Derek Brown got the defense's attention. He is the blueprint. Shout out to Derek Brown, coming off something clearly was different for the Panthers in the second half Sunday, especially on defense. But when team captain and voice of authority Derek Brown was asked about it in the locker room after the game, he mostly shrugged. Nothing. Brown replied Sunday when asked about what changed at halftime. We just settled in. Simple as that. Just like 1, 2, 3. It's just what happened. We came in. He said, let's get back to what we do. Of course, it wasn't everybody saying anything or just anybody, which triggered a second half lockdown. As it turns out, it was Brown who said something, and he said it in a way that no one would understand or misunderstand his intention. I think we just have a lot of good leaders on defense, and people know when to speak up, Christian Roseboom said, and obviously, whatever DB says, people are going to do. Tony, we remember the days of Thomas Davis being the vocal leader on this defense. We don't really think of Derek Brown as being a vocal guy, but it's good to know that when it matters the most, he is that voice that the defense rallies around. And I think that's a great thing for this team. That's why we paid him the money that we did.
What's funny about this story is they said he's the voice that people rallies around. And then the question that the very beginning of the story is like, what did you guys do different? He said, nothing. And then they asked other people what happened. They were like, we just looked at Derek Brown and we followed his lead. I told you guys after the Arizona game that he was a fucking dog of dogs, that like people, like you just needed him to rally in this. So this might be writing. I'm not trying to shit on the people that wrote this and extending it, but he's vocal. And even if you delve into this story, Roseboom, who is a veteran, who is just on the team fresh, right, is like, we look to the leaders, we know what they're saying, we follow by example. Nick Scorton said, just look at this guy. He is talking and leading at the same time. He's not just talking and talking and talking. Derek Brown is a man among men. It's just that simple. I feel like they're almost trying to extract more of him being like a vocal leader. He's vocal. His words, he says few and they mean many. What's next?
Yeah, man. So this is longtime fan of the Carolina Panthers who even here was in the running to be the I guess maybe some sort of front office role for the Panthers. This is Dan Orlovsky, who's made quite a name for himself at ESPN. Let me bring up the video. This is what he had to say about the Carolina Panthers, who we are now, and what we've been doing lately. And I think this is going to lead into a really good conversation around Dan Morgan.
We should be talking more about the Carolina Panthers, 6-5, going into Thanksgiving, playing meaningful games, going to make a playoff push. We should be talking about them as one of the teams that had as good an offseason as anybody. Just look at some of the people that they brought into their team this year, starting some of the free agents. Michael Jackson at corner, opposite J.C. Horn, it's been outstanding. Trayvon Merrick at safety, it's been outstanding. Bobby Brown at defensive tackle, been outstanding. Rico Dowdle signed for something like $6 million. He's fourth in the NFL in rushing. Rico Dowdle has become one of the best backs in the NFL for pennies on the dollar when it comes to his production. And then you look at their draft picks and not overthinking Tet McMillan early in the first round. Tet McMillan right now sits, I think, fourth in the NFL in yards. He's top 15 in touchdowns. He's top 15 in catches. You go to their second round pick, Nick Scorton. In his last 5 games, he's got something like 4.5 sacks, over 20 tackles. They're getting meaningful snaps from Princely Umanlielen, their third-round pick. They're getting meaningful snaps from Cam Jackson. You look at some of their later-round picks. Mitchell Evans at tight end. Every game has like 2 catches for 20, 25 yards. Just meaningful production. Jimmy Horn, their 7th-round pick wide receiver. Every game has a catch or two. Every game has a rush or two. And their quarterback is no question taking that big step forward. The Panthers are 6-5. They're tough. They're physical. They're winning close games. They're well coached. The quarterback's taking a step forward, and they're going to make a playoff push. This point last year, or maybe 13 months ago, this felt like a very difficult situation, that it was this same rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Been a complete reversal. Give credit to the head coach, Dave Canales. Give credit to the players. They're young players. And give credit to their front office and Dan Morgan. The pieces that they brought in, almost every single one that they brought in this offseason has had outstanding impact. They're a fun football team to watch. They're a physical football team. Don't be surprised if they get in.
And Tony, to echo a little bit of what Dan was saying, or to take it a little bit further, and we mentioned this a little bit earlier in the pod, you also have to factor in the undrafted free agents. Corey Thornton, who is highly, highly graded by PFF, might be a future lockdown corner for us. Damani Richardson, Jalen Coker. How about the foot? Ryan Fitzgerald, who has quickly become one of the most clutch, gotta-have-it kickers in the NFL. And hopefully it's looking like our new franchise kicker. And Bam Martin Scott. These are free agents, undrafted free agents in his first 2 seasons. Boys, Tony, you asked earlier, who are the players on this team that give you hope that Dan Morgan is a superstar GM? And there's a bunch of different names that you could pick. Mitchell Evans, Jalen Coker, Damani Richardson, Nick Scorton, T-Mac. Like, I really do feel like when it's all said and done, Dan Morgan is going to be the guy who will be known for putting the most game-changing talent on this roster consistently, more than any other GM that we've ever had.
CK, we heard all these. I've talked about how Dan Morgan aggressively attacked the offensive line 1 year before, right? A year before.
Yeah.
They could not protect Bryce Young. He just went and spent he said, we're going to spend the most. And we hear this statistic. They have the most money spent on the offensive line in like the league. Right. And like now guys are hurt and it's okay. But the offensive line has gotten better. Year 2, it was about improving the run defense. To me, the interesting part, as Cody celebrates all these names, the biggest name and the biggest money was Tershawn Wharton. And I don't we haven't even heard, or we don't know his name. So I guess to you, CK, what I'm asking is this, is while we're jumping up and down, clapping about Dan Morgan, is it incredible that you can clap and be happy about all this improvement, and the one that you paid the most to didn't even make Cody's list of like being an improvement? Tershawn Wharton, and I'm not saying Tershawn Wharton's a bad player, but he hasn't been a difference maker necessarily. Right. And maybe that lends to Dan Morgan's goodness, greatness. What do you think about that?
I think that it's could be a comedy of of all of those things, not of errors, but of like maybe just an entire troop of contributors that make it hard for one person to stand out above the rest, right? I mean, it doesn't look as though this defensive line is like overly, filled with stardom.
Robinson, Derek Brown, they're getting it done. You brought Tershawn Wharton in, and all of a sudden, but Bobby Brown, actually, it makes the Bobby Brown pick make more sense. Cody, who was the guy that we wanted from not we wanted, but everybody was mad from New England we didn't get?
Milton.
Right? So we didn't get Milton, and then you got Wharton and Bobby Brown, and now you got people talking about how great this class is. And to me, what this says is, CK, is like, yes, is that you pay. I'm not saying Wharton is a bad move, What I'm saying is like he targeted the defensive line and didn't only put his eggs in the Wharton basket.
Right. I mean, I think that the same thing that happened when we think about what happened the year before. I mean, or last year, it was we either pay Brian Burns or we get 2 guards for the interior and protect Bryce, and that's what we did. And then you had Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis instead of and a second round pick instead of having to pay Brian Burns and not have any of those extra assets. And I'm of the same mind that I think Jonathan Brooks will eventually be the guy for us as time moves forward. But I think it's kind of a similar situation with those guys.
What we need is some Wharton war at the end of the season. Cody, what we got next?
Yeah, so I labeled tonight's show, or named it, Primetime Panthers, only a half game out of first place in the NFC South. Well, one of the things that isn't quite in our favor is that the Carolina Panthers going forward have the 3rd toughest strength of schedule.
This is tough.
Out of any team in the NFL. Only the Packers and the Bears have a tougher schedule than the Panthers going forward. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 4th easiest strength of schedule going forward.
This means it's rigged.
Dude, they
won the fucking division last year. Why do we have the strongest? I guess it just
turns out this way, man. They play a lot of teams that are just not very good, and we play a lot of teams that are really, really looking.
Well, we're
like
playing the same teams. It's just at different parts of the season.
Yeah, right. At different points in time, but they play So they're playing the Saints coming up. They got the Cardinals. They have a couple. They got the Falcons again, I think. So they have it pretty easy. Meanwhile, we have San Francisco, the Rams, the Seahawks, Tampa Bay 2 times. It's like this is going to be a tough out. So I know everyone's riding high off of this incredible victory, but I do think for your own mental health, it is important to remember it was just the Falcons, and we have a very steep uphill climb to get over if we're going to make some waves in this division. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I want everyone to be realistic about what it means and what it looks like going forward for us to be able to sneak in to the playoffs.
If the Panthers win one game against the 49ers, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Bucks, which is 4 games because we play the Bucks twice, I'm happy. If we win 2 games, I'm ecstatic. If we win 3 games, I'm fucking going Super Bowl, bitch. Like I'm saying, like this is we're playing with house money right now. One more win, it's house money all the way.
Yeah.
One more Bryce Young where G Baby can call in and talk about whatever and try to sell girls with no ass and big titties to me. House money. I'm telling you, we are at a better place. One more win, and we can lose out. And I'm sitting here, I'm happy.
Nah, dude, fuck your happiness, Tony Dunn. We want it all. Let's go all the fucking way, dude. If we win the next one, I want us to win this division.
Okay.
If we're able to beat the 49, I don't even care how beat up and injured they are. If we go into Monday Night Football and beat the San Francisco 49ers,
then I want all of it.
Time,
then I want all of it. I understand. I understand that. But if we're resetting this to the end of the season, at the beginning of the season, if we win 9 games, just think about this. If I'm at a 9-game win season, and I believe in Bryce, I believe in Canales, I believe in this, I believe in that. I'm ecstatic. So yeah, I want more. I want to be greedy. I want to eat hungry. I want all those things. I do.
Tony, CK, let me pose this to you. Because even with this performance, we still haven't quite put it all together. Because we had a very good passing attack, but the run game was not very good. Also,
for 2 weeks.
Right, but also the defense, they had an abysmal first half, but then they locked up in the second half. Imagine if we went out in prime time against the 49ers and played complete complimentary football. Like, dude, our whole world
we have the
are
best
gonna
chance
be
against.
turned upside down.
I think this is that if you want that, we're gonna come on this podcast and rock to like, oh, we're Super Bowl, we doing this. All of a sudden, it takes that Monday night win. Because I think we have a better chance of beating the 49ers than we do of the Seahawks and the Rams.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.
All right. How about that? All right. No, just let me ask you this. Out of the two, there's two of you on this podcast.
Mhm.
Who do you have the best chances or the least chances? I guess I don't even know how to ask it.
Yeah.
Do you believe? I think we have. Look, the 49ers, they're a resilient. They have the best coach in the league, or one of the best coaches in the league. I mean, he's fucking incredible. They've been injured. Yeah, I mean, they've been injured. They've persevered. So I would not underestimate this team. But they are more one-dimensional.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have a great defense. They have a great defense.
Yeah,
and the Seahawks have the most rounded team out of the three.
Well, the Rams just put a whooping on them. The Rams,
I would not say that. Is that they did not put a whooping on them. Is Sam Darnold they had 3 turnovers and they still lost
4
at the last
4 interceptions.
Yeah, at the last second. So,
but that Rams defense is also fucking legit. Like, they have good pass rushers.
Okay.
They have a young defense too. They have a good team. To answer
I'm
your
more
question,
scared of the
Tony,
Seahawks than I am on all those teams.
So, Tony,
All those
you and
teams.
I are in agreement. I do think that out of all the games that we're going to play, the 2 most winnable matchups are San Fran and Tampa Bay.
If we win San Francisco, then we're putting our dicks on the table and we're like,
well, but to me, it's not even San Fran, it's the Rams. If we beat the Rams, then I'm like, yo, this team is fucking ready to go, dude. And I believe we have the bye after the Rams, so we have a very late bye, which I'm into. I like the fact that we have such a late bye, especially if we can turn it on and be a contender. This is what I talked about before the season started. If this team ends up being a contender this year, a late bye is going to help us get healthy in a way that's really going to be beneficial to us trying to make a playoff push. In my opinion, if we beat the Rams, that's when you say, oh, yeah, dude, this fucking team is good to go, and we can beat any team on any given Sunday. I did not think that at all last year.
okay. All right. I want to beat the 49ers. I can deal with losses to the other teams and then battle with the Bucks. But we'll see where it goes. Cody, let's finish it out.
Yeah, this is it wouldn't be a C3 pod if we didn't.
I don't
talk
like this. All right,
Cam.
so I saw this story. All right, Josh Allen's next rushing touchdown will break Cam Newton's record for quarterbacks. He had 74, 5, and 6, I think, or 73, 4, 5. Same. I can pull up the story. I got it saved here. But then it said something stupid. Oh, wait. I got it right here. Actually, I said, all right. Here it says, Bills quarterback Josh Allen ran for 3 touchdowns in Sunday's win over the Buccaneers. The next time he runs for a touchdown, he'll have more rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in NFL history. That record has long been held by Cam Newton, who retired with 75 career rushing touchdowns. Allen scored his 73rd, 4th, 5th, and rushing touchdowns on Sunday. If Allen rushes for a touchdown on Thursday night against the Texans, he will have 76 rushing touchdowns in his career. Sole ownership of the record. All right. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Then this is the next paragraph. Allen is already the all-time rushing touchdown leader among quarterbacks if the playoffs are included. Allen has 7 playoff rushing touchdowns for a total of 82 in his career. Newton only has 2 touchdowns in his playoffs for a total of 77. What the fuck does this mean? And you want me to, I will show you guys. If you guys need to see it, I will present it.
No. Just say it to me. Say it again.
No, I'm going to show it right here. Like, listen to this. I said it. I don't understand it. It's like, is he not or he is?
They're saying if you include the playoffs.
Right.
He is.
But
regular
do we
season
not include the playoffs
for every known NFL stat in the history of the NFL.
They completely exclude the playoffs at all.
No, they don't. Like, so passing the record NFL passing yards do not include the playoffs.
Okay. Well, I think that's ridiculous. Number one. I think that's all right. I mean, like, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, he is and he isn't. He already is and he isn't. Come on. Okay. I thought that was silly.
But, dude, listen, I'm not super mad at this. If you listen to Cam Newton talk about quarterbacks, he has basically said that out of all the NFL quarterbacks that most closely resemble him, it's Josh Allen. Dude, he's got the super, or whatever. It's still Josh Allen, dude. And say whatever you want, Tony. Buffalo Bill fans, feel like you did on my porch that day. That they always have a chance to win a football game because they have 17 under center.
I hate to tell you this, Tony, but Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Cam Newton.
Oh,
and next slide.
Yeah, man, dude, shout out to Cam.
Next slide.
Oh, this is fun. Are y'all ready for this?
No, yes, I am.
So, hang on, Tony, you set this up while I pull
all right,
up
so Steve Smith went on the Pivot. And I don't know if him going on the Pivot podcast was part of this, but all of a sudden, him and who's this guy? I forget his name.
Pacman Jones.
Pacman Jones.
So it's like, oh, there's this beef between the two. And I will say this is like, we've had this fun on the podcast about, and shout out to my boy Clip Rock on Pirate Radio, who he like in the off season, we talk about like is like you're working for topics to talk about for the NFL. And he will say something like this is, who would you want to be your roommate? Who would you want in a fight? Who would you want to be your cousin? Or like, who would you want at a barbecue? Who would you want this? And my favorite one was, he said, who would you want to be your roommate? And I said, not Steve Smith. Because I was like, dude, I'm thinking college, you know, like we ain't got no money. We're all friends when we first start being roommates. Everybody's like okay with everything. But by 7 months in, you're like, who the fuck ate my cereal? Who drank my orange juice? My favorite, and this is my boy, he's got my boy Big Hop. Somebody he had some, I think it was like a Olive Garden joint, and he had like a fettuccine Alfredo, and his roommate just ate the chicken off his like he left, like so he went in the fridge and he ate the chicken off his Alfredo, like he left the Alfredo, and like he's like, I walked in there, and the motherfucker ate my chicken off the Alfredo, like anyway. So I was thinking, I was like, God damn, I would be so scared if I ate fucking Steve Smith's cheese nips by accident, drunk, I would have to put a deadbolt the opposite way. I would be so scared for Steve Smith to be my roommate. But then this is these mugs be worn. Steve Smith be worn with people his whole life. Pacman be in jail.
Well, but you know what,
life.
Tony? It's the same thing that you just said about Steve. Probably true for Pacman Jones too.
Yes, I
like
know.
this dude, so many people, people have stories about Pacman Jones. Dude is freaking.
He's in
hilarious.
jail all the time. Every time the Bengals have made the playoffs, he had a felony.
Well, remember, he was the one that laid that hit on Antonio Brown that everybody jokes that gave A, B, C, D.
I thought that was perfect.
No, you're right. Perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. But this
there's this video though floating around now. So Steve Smith will fight with anybody. My whole point was just saying this is I'm talking about Panther fan. Like my boy always asks me this is who would you want to be your friend with? I always say I want Derek Brown in a fight. I want this. I want this. I don't want to be Steve Smith's roommate. That's my answer. I don't want Steve Smith to be my roommate because I don't want to be like, where my cheese nips at? Where my cheese nips at? I'll be like, oh shit, I hate your cheese nips by accident. Deadbolt on my. So then this shit comes out, and I did not see that he was going on the pivot yet. But Pacman Jones is getting his fucking hair done in a barbershop. He has this filter. The comments are great. He's like, why you got a sparkle filter going on? He's lollipopping it. This is crazy. Pacman Jones is talking shit to Steve Smith about him, how he's a bum. Do you got the video?
Yep. You ready for it?
Please say you got it. Thank you.
So, yeah, I guess this is him responding to Steve.
I'm less scared of Pacman after this video. I'm more scared of Steve Smith than I am of Pacman.
By the way, like as if you needed the warning, language warning.
I guess I got time there. Steve Smith was a fucking bum. This is not no question. Steve Smith was not AJ. Steve Smith was not T.O. Steve Smith was not OBJ. Steve Smith was not D-Hop. Like Steve Smith maybe been a good receiver, but that nigga was a bum. Like when I played against him. And like I ain't fuck with him since the Reebok commercial we did. Nigga trying to little boy nigga. I told that nigga, shut up, nigga, get off the bus. If y'all really want to know what went on. This nigga's a lollipop, bro. You see this right here? That was Steve Smith is. We've never did a game plan in my whole history of playing around fucking Steve Smith, bro. Y'all niggas get the fuck off my line. All that old fake ass shit. The nigga was he was an Anquan Bolden. That's what he was. He was number one, though. I ain't even really see the nigga that much.
Right. You gotta show the Steve's. Yeah, you gotta show the.
We will. So then Steve Smith.
I'm terrified of you, Pacman Jones. I'm your roommate. I'm your roommate. I'm terrified of you with you eating your lollipop, getting your hair done. I'm terrified. And then this comes up.
Then, Steve Smith posted this video in response. Says, this is how a trash man handles garbage on trash day. Straight to the dumpster for him. And it's Steve when he played for the Ravens. Flacco throws him a bomb.
Look at this. Can we not play the music?
No.
We'll get demonetized. Look at this. Wait. There's more. There's more.
Just does him dirty.
There's more.
And then it just shows him just absolutely going hard in Steve Smith fashion.
Every time. I'm sorry. I'm more scared of being Steve Smith's roommate than I am Pacman Jones. I will eat Pacman Jones Cheez-Its.
You'll eat the chicken out of his fettuccine.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. All right, let's finish
All
it
right,
out.
so now moving back into the bulk. Now we're getting into 49ers, man. And Tony, I said this at the top of the show. It was weird to me reading that the Panthers haven't played Christian McCaffrey yet. I don't know why. I felt like we had, but we have not. And Christian McCaffrey is currently on pace to become the first player in NFL history to go 1,000 twice. He's I don't know if those are his stats
Is
right
this the
now.
quietest? Is this the quietest 1,000 ever?
Maybe so. And dude, the CMC does this thing where he'll rotate years, man. He'll go off and just go insane. Then the next year he'll be hurt, and then the next year he comes back and goes off. Dude, Christian McCaffrey is balling out of control right now. And yeah, this will be the first time that we've played CMC since we traded him out of here. Of course, this account only 49ers had to pull at the heartstrings of us Panther fans. This was his final tweet to the Panthers. Says, I'm forever grateful for all the people who have helped me make the past 5.5 years so special for me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Carolina, I will always love you. Those were his final words to Panthers fans. Yeah, it's going to feel weird, man. You know, Tony, you mentioned earlier the Broncos game, which Gano missed the field goal kick. There's a different timeline of events that splinter off on some real Marvel MCU type shit. Well, there's another timeline where Christian McCaffrey is still the running back for the Carolina Panthers, and he's still breaking all kinds of records for this team, man.
Yeah, if we were good,
it's fair.
And to bring this back to Steve Smith, when he was Triple Crown on a team that had the least passing attempts in the league, right, in 2008, the least passing, he had one of the greatest. He was a Triple Crown winner on a team that didn't throw the ball. Then we went into this doldrum of crap. We think of Steve Smith as potentially a borderline gold jacket person. I don't think of him like that. I think of him as put that dude in the Hall of Fame right away. But if Steve Smith would have played with Peyton Manning, he would have been the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And so I don't think there's a Panther fan that has any animosity towards Christian McCaffrey. I think this is we don't want him to break that 1,000 record against us.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be against us, but I wish him the best. He's a great player.
When he plays us.
He's a great player. He's incredible. He's fucking incredible. I wish the most for him. He's incredible, dude. And I think that if he was with us, I think that what I would continue back to say that the good part of trading him away is that caliber of player at that position doesn't do enough for us at this moment. Which that sounds shitty because we suck or we have sucked.
Yeah. Well, CK, I said earlier that if we shut down CMC, that makes me even more say that as much as people hate to say it, even if you have an incredible running back like CMC,
bro, he's about to get 300 yards just because Cody
if Rico Dowdle continues to ball out, it makes me double down that running back, as much as we love him, as much as our ultra talented people, they're replaceable, man.
CK, we are so fucking toast because he just said that.
Yeah, we can come back to this clip when this if this game goes horribly.
When he went
We
for
have, we have somebody
500
to blame.
yards.
And if that's
Cody
the
Lack.
truth, I'm just going to reverse jinx everything from now on. I'm just going to say and boldly profess the opposite of what I want to happen.
Well, you wrongly did that because then you should say he's going to rush 1,000 yards against us. Oh my gosh.
No.
I wish him the best. I
hope.
hope he has a great game, just not on Monday night.
True facts. But, another return that we need to talk about. Matt Jones has been the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, but Brock Purdy comes back in his first game in 7 weeks with an 82.6 adjusted completion rate, 200 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 133.5 passer rating. And George Kittle is healthy, and they have Christian McCaffrey. Boys, this is going to be a tough out. Like,
for
it's
sure.
the fucking 49ers, man. There's no other way around it.
All right. Who you picking? Let's do it. Let's do the picks right
Oh,
now.
we got to do our know our
Okay.
vote.
All right. Tell us who we got to know.
We're doing it with CMC, 49er player who the Panthers know very well already is Christian McCaffrey. The running back was traded to San Fran in 2022. A bunch of shit that we know. The running back for the 49ers, leading rusher with 707 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. That makes sense given his position. But CMC is also the team's leading receiver. He's pulled in a team high 74 receptions, 43 more.
74 receptions. That's insane.
Closest teammate for 732 receiving yards through the air, which is 250 more than the next closest receiver, Kendrick Bourne. McCaffrey also has 5 receiving touchdowns. So, dude, CMC is as good as he ever was. I think the best 2 running backs in the NFL right now probably is Christian McCaffrey and Saquon.
And Rico Dowdle. Okay. And who?
And Saquon Barkley.
Dude, Saquon Barkley is nothing right now compared to what
Rico
he
right
Dowdle.
now. But okay, people
It's
said
CMC. We are
people
looking
said
at
the same
best,
thing
Fuck
about
that.
Saquon last year, or about McCaffrey.
2 best running
last
backs
year.
matching up on Monday Night Football. CK, clip it. Clip it. 2 best running backs. You know what?
Listen,
Take
you guys
that.
are
undrafted versus drafted.
You guys realize that there's another running back in the league called Jonathan Taylor, and then even though Bijan Robinson didn't have like a monster game, like the eye test, Bijan Robinson, as much as I hate that he's a Falcon,
yeah, I know.
Like,
oh my god,
I'm putting him above Rico Dowdle right now.
I'm gonna say this is Jonathan Taylor clearly tops of tops, but can you at least roll with me, CK, for fucking with Cody?
Okay,
Come
gotcha.
on.
Do y'all really think that Saquon Barkley is still not one of the very best running backs? In the
You know
NFL?
what? I would say Rico got more on him than that. You want to put these stats and this and that. I doubt your
Hey, y'all
stats.
talking about
Let's go.
Bijan Robinson. Both of y'all shut the hell up. I'm gonna get where's the
Bijan? No, I'm with
where's the
CK. Bijan be making people look.
Oh, Bijan's fucking overrated, dude. He's
Did you
overrated.
Nah,
How
he
about-
be
how
making
about this?
people look.
Rico Dowdle better than Bijan Robinson. Kiss my ass,
You
too.
crazy. All right.
Oh, but you want to
Okay.
say that Dowdle's better than Saquon? Bro, y'all are smoking
CK, I'm with
meth.
you on all of this.
Y'all are
Let's just
smoking
keep going.
meth.
No, we're not. You're the only one smoking meth on this one.
No, dude, y'all are fucking.
I wish I had some of your
ridiculous right now.
meth because I had the flu for 5 days. I wish I had the high you had. Nope. Continue. Tell us why.
But listen, I already told y'all a little bit about.
So why don't you
Purdy,
tell
but-
us how fucking not Zane Gonzalez? Who's the other guy? Who's my guy that I hate with the
Eddie
haircut?
Pinheiro.
Yeah, why don't you
Eddie
tell us
might
how
not be
Eddie
better.
Pinheiro's got a better foot than Zane Gonzalez and whatever else you want to tell us? Let's go.
I know he doesn't have a better foot than Nick Fitzgerald. I know that shit for damn sure. I will say this though. So I already told y'all a little bit about Brock Purdy, but the biggest help to Purdy's downfield attack was tight end George Kittle, who had one of his better games of the season. Kittle brought in all 6 of his targets for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both touchdowns came on downfield throws over 10 air yards. It was Kittle's second game of his career with the multiple touchdown receptions on targets over 10 air yards. Boys, maybe this is controversial. I'm more afraid of what George Kittle is going to do to us than Christian McCaffrey, because I don't know if we have the linebacker play right now, even though I am happy with Roseboom and
if he's playing.
Right, if he's playing. Who, Roseboom?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, Roseboom is hurt. Trevor Wallace has been good in the latter half of the season. But, dude, George Kittle and what he could do scares me more than Christian McCaffrey in this matchup.
I understand. We've had the linebacking core of the opposing teams they've been a pretty large weakness of ours. Oddly enough, it just feels like teams don't actually exercise that weakness very much, but it does cause me some concern.
You see how long it took you to find that shit? Now it didn't even make sense.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I'm sorry.
It sounded like you were telling CK that was the stupidest thing he's ever heard. You're fucking slow. Get out of here, dude.
All right.
Get out.
You slow if you think that George Kittle is more of a problem. Keep going. I hope this show's over if you think that Kittle is more of a problem than CMC. Continue.
Dude, George Kittle is a fucking beast. I'm saying we're not equipped in the right way.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
If you want to fucking play that shit.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
All right, keep going. Or I'm going to keep playing.
Get off the fucking show. Dude, I'm telling you.
I will go to bed after this.
Kittle is better equipped to attack this Panthers defense. Whereas I think that we can have success against McCaffrey.
All right, next. I'm not even going to play it again. I will hit the button again. Let's go. Let's finish out.
Special teams, some blah, blah, blah bullshit.
All right. Yeah. Who you picking? I think the Panthers actually win this game. I'm picking the Panthers. I know. I might be riding high. This is wild, though. I mean, we are 7-point dogs.
Yeah.
On the road. I don't know. Maybe I'm picking with my heart rather than my head. But it really is about the Christian McCaffrey conundrum.
Yeah,
and the Panthers finally stop the run. And I think if you're Dave Canales, if you're Azir or ever, you have to only all day. This is what I would do is we take away Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if that's possible, but that's the whole game plan for me. They have nobody else. I'm not saying they have nobody else. I'm not trying to shit on their other players. But you do the Bill Belichick. You take away their best thing. If we can take away Christian McCaffrey and we replicate what we do well, which is decent pass protection, good run, Bryce Young stepping forward. I like the Panthers to cover the 7 and win straight out. That's me.
CK.
I'm gonna continue my streak and say the Panthers lose this game I think it'll be a game that still remains competitive, so we don't walk away from it feeling like we're completely or out of the potential run for a playoff push. But I do think that we lose. So I think it's going to be 21-14.
All right, man. Look, I'm taking the Panthers. I think it's going to be another barn burner. I think it's going to be a back and forth matchup. I could even see it going into overtime. I like what Loud Pack Luke has to say. Panthers 31, Niners 28. I got Fitzgerald on another walk-off field goal to win the whole fucking game, boys. Keep pounding, baby. Let's get it.
All right, final segment of the show, longest running Panthers podcast, the C3 Panthers podcast, our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Everyone is fair game. We can step outside or inside the lines of football. Cody, let's ice some fools up.
Ice up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Everyone is fair game. Like I said, Cody, pull this crap down so I can put mine up. I don't really have a couple, but I got this one right here. I saw this Draymond Green got in a fight a verbal contest with a fan. I don't think.
And now look at wait a minute. Let's get Draymond. What's Draymond's talking to a fan over
talking
there?
about?
He must have said something. We crossed the line.
This fan said something to him, and he's this and Draymond. Well, what I read, and I hope the internet is correct, could be wrong, is that he called Draymond Angel Reese because he got his own rebound 3 times, missed his own shot, and couldn't make it. And then Draymond got mad because he called him Angel Reese, which also he could not make his own shot, rebound, like he was rebounding and shooting and couldn't do it. So, Draymond, I know you get mad. I feel like this fan stood on his 10 toes, Cody. That's it. That's my ice up.
Dude, it's wild that the players can just sit at floor level and just talk shit to the basketball players. That's
hey, you know what? You get what you get, and you don't get upset, homie. You gonna charge all that money for the floor seats? You get what you get. If I can be like, yo, your ears are big, bitch, then you got to deal with it. I'll be like, you can't make your own rebound. You got to deal with it. You look like Angel Reese. You deal with it. I'm sorry. If I ain't say nothing that is overly hateful, I mean, like saying this is that you got game like Angel Reese is fair game. So you know what, Draymond? Don't be salty. Don't be crying. Deal with it. Shoot better. That's what I would say.
I'm icing up. Dude, okay, I'm just gonna show y'all, and you just tell me what you see wrong with this. So this dude says he's gonna show off his Jon Snow tattoo, and this is what it is.
What the fuck is wrong with his leg?
That's what I'm saying, dude. What is going on here, bro?
Midget.
I know that doesn't
he's
look like a midget.
I'm not supposed to say that. He's a short person bodybuilder.
It looks like that dude's got a fucking tumor in his leg. But dude, what makes it even funnier is like Jon Snow's looking at it. He's like, "What the fuck is that thing?" I don't know.
Supposed to say the M word. He's a little person bodybuilder.
Midget.
I did not say that. You said it.
I did.
Them Vans look giant.
Anyway. Yeah, so ice up to that dude's leg, dude. It looks like it really does need some ice. So,
all right.
So mine is going to be one that's happening in the NFL. Everybody knows it might be a little bit of a low-hanging fruit here, but so there was a fight that took place in the NFL over the weekend.
Oh, is this Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Jamar Chase spit in the face.
well, spit on his jersey at least. Basically, an identical situation to the Carter, with Jalen Carter from the Eagles with Dak Prescott. But it's what's wild about this is that when Jamar Chase was asked about it, he just straight up lied. Like he said, "No, I didn't do that. I didn't spit on nobody." And knowing that he literally is on camera nonstop because he's like one of the only talented players on that team right now, and your thought process is like, you know what? Let me go ahead and lie to the press about it instead. It's just a wild thing to experience and to just blatantly lie about it. Like that's the wild thing.
So you
like,
think he should have told the truth,
dude? What do you mean? Like, let me ask
I would
you.
have
What
lied
look,
to the end.
but it's on camera.
Yeah,
right?
knowing however
I
many
would've like,
cameras are
sweat.
watching him.
I would have
though,
been like, that's sweat. That's
but
spittle.
he's appealing his suspension.
Under what grounds? There is a
I don't
clear,
know. I'm just telling you, he's appealing.
like this is as clear as I've ever seen of a situation that you should not be getting out of this. Like if Jalen Carter did, now he served his 1 game suspension, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Jalen Carter? Yeah, that was like a
he did.
year ago.
Yeah, he did.
No, it was the beginning of this year.
Yeah. Yeah, kicked out of the game.
So-
First game, right?
Right. So I'm just saying, like, if he is not, if that does not get upheld, then there's a grievance that I would hold against the NFL if I'm Jalen Carter.
This is where we're icing up CK for being so of a person. CK, let me tell you something. When you tell a lie, you gotta lie to the end. You gotta lie to the end. You be like, spit on the face by his camera, but I didn't.
Now that you mention it, I do remember he said that if you wanted to spit on him, that he would have spit on him and not at him, and that the Louis went down. So
Yeah,
it was
like,
like,
no, I was
it was
spitting
like
at the ground.
because I didn't spit on him. That's how you know I wasn't trying to spit at him. It was something super stupid, dude.
That's how we know CK is good and we're terrible. This is the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night we rock here. CK is the best of us. I'm the worst of us. That's the most able of us in between us. Hey, Cody Lack, take us out of here.
C3 Legion until next Friday for another edition of the Friday Free For All in the 30 minutes, or probably not even 30 minutes, after the game on Monday. We will be back for another edition of the C3 post-game show. Until then, keep pounding.